The catastrophe is coming. I took my whole family to cultivate immortality. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 51, The Handwriting of God. You're too arrogant. Maybe you don't know guns. Qin Feng directly interrupted the other party's words. Do you know that before the gun is fired, it's just scrap metal? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. God forgive you, poor, arrogant man. The white man said something and was about to pull the trigger. It was at this moment that he couldn't help but take a deep breath. Suddenly there was no trace of Qin Feng in front of him, and everything just now was an illusion. Oh God, how is this possible? The white man's face was a little flustered, but Qin Feng's voice sounded at this moment. I've said it before, your God is not good here. At the moment when the voice fell, the white man's wrist twitched, followed by severe pain, and the gun in his hand fell unconsciously. Crack. Only now did I hear the clear sound of bone shattering. Qin Feng's entire speed was as fast as a ghost. Ah, my hand. Now, do you believe it? Qin Feng stood there, half smiling. However, in the eyes of the white man, it was the devil's smile. Yes, I believe it. Now is not the time for you to speak. I ask, you answer. Understand? Understood. I understand. Noble gentleman, may I ask you? When he was holding a gun, he was arrogant, but now, he is just like the third grandson, so it's not bad that he came from a Western country. The purpose of your coming here is for that vein, right? What do you do with a vein? Remember, if I sense you're lying, you'll see your God right away. No, I don't want to go to God so early. I'll tell the truth. That vein seems ordinary, but as long as you bring it back to my country, you can build a powerful weapon. When the white man spoke, he hesitated. Qin Feng narrowed his eyes and hummed coldly. The white man felt a chill and rushed directly from the heels to the Xianlingge. He never thought that a person's eyes could be terrifying like this. Dignified. Gentlemen, I'm not trying to lie, but worry about my words. You may not believe me. That's not what you should think about. Just say everything you know. In another 3 or 2 minutes, the doomsday is coming. This is the result that the wise men of our country have speculated. The purpose of acquiring the mineral veins is to fight against the end of the world, and for the sake of all mankind. Qin Feng's expression remained the same, and he was somewhat surprised. It seems that Western countries are not useless. Someone has already predicted the news. Perhaps that person, like Qin Feng, has some adventure. Don't go overboard. It sounds nice. The veins are really taken away. You are just for yourself. What are you pretending to be, a big-tailed wolf, saying that it is for the human beings all over the world? That you are joking. We are really for all mankind. Dear gentlemen, I have already told everything I know, and you will definitely bypass me, right? Is worry. Qin Feng replied calmly. Did I say I would bypass you? Oh no, I've said everything, and now that I'm injured, you shouldn't do anything to me. With a minimum of humanitarianism, you can pull it down. Qin Feng directly interrupted the other party's words. I just ask, if I couldn't dodge just now, then the person who died under the gun was me, right? Then what do you have? Eligibility requires my forgiveness. Oh, no, it's not like that. Can't kill me. Qin Feng pondered for a while. His arm suddenly rose, followed, and pointed his finger on the man's eyebrow. A golden light flashed away. The white man's eyes became confused. The corners of his mouth drooled without knowing it, and he soon became stupid, and the giggling, he was obviously a fool. It seems that you are not religious enough to see your God so early, so just live. Qin Feng was sure that the other party would no longer remember anything that happened tonight, and then turned to leave, and disappeared into the night. Soon, Qin Feng arrived at the vein and checked it. There was some joy in his eyes. It seemed that Jian Ziao was not lying. The vein here is indeed suitable for refining immortal soldiers. After pondering for a while, Qin Feng took a deep breath. stomped his feet to accumulate strength, and pointed his fingers forward in the void. A splendid brilliance spread from the soles of the feet, and gradually, trance-like streaks of substantial golden light, from top to bottom, wrapped the entire mineral vein. Receive. The aura in Qin Feng's body wandered, and the golden light skyrocketed. Fortunately, this is in the wilderness, otherwise, just how many people will be disturbed by the splendid light and movement in front of us? After a quarter of an hour, the brilliance gradually disappeared. Satisfied, Qin Feng exhaled, and didn't stop for much longer. Soon, he disappeared into the vast darkness. After about an hour or so, it disappeared, and in the darkness, a car arrived here. The weird tone came again. What's the matter? There is no news from William yet. Let's go and have a look. It's not a kid from the Japanese country who dares to play tricks. Two white men came here, and when they saw their silly companions, their faces changed wildly. What happened? William, what's the matter with you? No matter how the two asked, William just giggled, drooling for a long time, without any other response. It's the kid from the Japanese country, Paul. It shouldn't be. I checked it just now. Yamaguchi Honda also died. It seems that there are still people coveting the ore vein. This matter is a little troublesome. After all, it is not in our country. Hurry up and find a way to bring the ore vein back to us. Come on, let's go ahead and take a look. While the two of them were talking, they didn't care about the silly William. Took out their guns, and hurried over to the mines carefully. Soon, the two white men arrived, and the faces of the two became extremely horrified. Oh my god, this is impossible. I must have read it wrong. It must be God's handwriting. The veins are completely gone. If I hadn't been here, I could hardly believe that there were veins here. How could this be? Paul, you're right. Only God can do it. Within an hour, the veins will disappear without a trace. How can mortals do it? The two looked at each other with fear, and even for a moment, they felt like they were dreaming. No, we have to report to the headquarters immediately. In the ancient East, there must be terrifying wise men who are as omnipotent as God. We must pay attention to this matter, and we must investigate it clearly. Chapter 52. The Four Clouds Move. The mysterious disappearance of the ore veins soon spread to the west. Melvi, have you heard? William and Paul's mission failed. Oh, damn it, I should have gone there in person and let two idiots ruin a big deal. The loss of the ore vein is indeed not small, but it is more noteworthy, isn't it? The Eastern powerhouse that Paul said. Melvi, a tall white man, was smoking a cigar with a gloomy expression on his face. Parker, you are right. I have already asked the wise man. He said that in the Western world, we prefer to call people who have awakened physical power as wise or extraordinary, but in the Far East, they prefer to be called fairy, perhaps. The person Paul is talking about is the mysterious cultivator in the East. If the mineral vein really disappears so bizarrely, that person is indeed too terrifying. Parker was a black man, frowning. It's stronger than our wise men. The noble wise man said that he had checked the pictures of the ore veins, and if it were him, he really couldn't do it. Oh, God, this is not good news. We have to find out everything. You are right. When the end comes, we must dominate the world. The so-called mysterious cultivators are a huge threat to us. At the same time, in the Huaxia secret meeting room, several high-level officials participated, and some monsters and powerful beasts were placed on the screen, which were several times more aggressive than the original. It's not good news that abnormal things are increasing. It's true. Everyone is here. I want you to watch another video. Soon, a video of man flying in the wind began to appear on the screen. The overall length was only more than 10 seconds. Those comments and barrages did not appear. A tall man said, I've seen this video. Isn't it made of special effects for verification? Pushing his eyes, a man in his 40s with a slightly darker complexion spoke up. CUI. Well, if I told you that this video is not synthetic, what would you think? How do you see it? I close my eyes and don't look. It's obviously impossible. Well, the video is really not a composite, nor is it any special effects. Those comments appear, but things are too bizarre. Too many people instinctively regard unexpected things as not appearing and existing. How could this be? CUI when his face was full of shock. If such a person really appears in Huaxia, we must find him quickly at all costs. If we don't guide him, this kind of terrifying strength will not know what impact it will have on society. Unfortunately, everything is clueless. Have you checked this mountain forest where men haunt? Is there no news? No, the forest is very remote. We have found the person who posted the video. They said that everything that was filmed was just an accident. They didn't know the man in the video, and they didn't see his face. Surrounding surveillance also I checked, and there is no clue. It's too easy for people like this to avoid surveillance. When everyone was discussing, a voice suddenly sounded. I seem to have seen this man. The meeting room fell silent in an instant, and all eyes were focused on the place where the sound was just made. It was in Changbei Mountain that Wu Hualong appeared in the speaker. Mr. Wu, have you seen it? Wu Hualong pondered and said, when I was in Changbei Mountain, I encountered a mutated snow blindness and almost died. At that time, I was rescued by someone. That person's strength was very strong. Dare to be sure, very. But this is already a very important clue. Mr. Wu, I will send a few people to assist you. Make sure to find the person you mentioned. Yes. Wu Hualong responded. In the Japanese territory, the mines disappeared mysteriously, and the news of the loss of an elite ninja has also been fermenting. Okamoto, what do you think about this? We have sent people to Huaxia to continue to investigate the news. Before there are other clues, we should be more cautious and inconvenient to make more comments. All I can say is, this incident is unusual. Yes, I know Koizumi's strength best. It's hard to imagine being defeated. After all, Huaxia is vast and rich in resources, and capable people are born in large numbers. We can't underestimate it. Unfortunately, the matter of the mines has finally failed. The matter of Qin Feng's appearance near Changbei Mountain in the mines has already attracted the clouds in all directions, but the current Qin Feng is still ignorant. Point of course, even if he knows, Qin Feng doesn't care. Some things will happen sooner or later. Besides, in a short time, it is impossible for him to find out. After all the work was done, Qin Feng did not stay outside for much longer, and soon Qin Feng rushed back to the village. Brother Feng, you are back. Qin Wen's face was full of surprise. Like that, he couldn't wait to jump up and give Qin Feng a bear hug. Sect Master is back. Sect Master, you are finally back. You are no longer. Everyone does everything as if they have lost their backbone. Many clansmen came one after another just to meet Qin Feng and say a word or two. It's not a compliment. When Qin Feng was in the village, everyone didn't realize how important it was. However, during Qin Feng's absence, the immortal cultivators in the clan felt uneasy, as if everything had changed. It's like there's no reason. Unconsciously, Qin Feng has become the backbone of all the clansmen. Everyone doesn't need to be around. Since I'm back, I won't leave in a short time. Just go back to yourselves and do your own thing. Yes, Sect Master. Many people have dispersed, and the elders and guardians of the clan are still here. There are some things that need to be reported to Qin Feng. Qin Hongfu's attitude towards Qin Feng became more and more respectful. Sect Master, I have been building our tourism industry according to the plan during the period of time you left. Would you like to take a look at the progress? Fourth uncle, you can do those things as you see them. I still believe in your ability. For other things, don't worry about it. I'll show you something first. Come on, come with me. Qin Feng took everyone to the village near the back mountain competition field. Taking a deep breath, around Qin Feng's body, golden rays of light flickered, and then, interweaved into a ray of sunshine, and the clouds from all directions gathered here, and the colors rendered were particularly magnificent. Fortunately, there was a barrier set up by Qin Feng in the competition field, and people outside could not find anything unusual. When the power exploded, the light gradually dissipated, and everyone looked at the ore veins that seemed to appear out of thin air, completely dumbfounded. I'll go. I know Qin Feng is powerful, but I didn't expect it to be so powerful. This is not a trick to the eyes. Chapter 53 Refining Medicine Pills. Qin Hongfu exhaled a long breath and said, the sovereign is invincible, and the mana is boundless. Qin Feng is speechless. I'm still a constellation old monster. After the mana is boundless, do I have to rule the rivers and lakes? It's Amazing. Am I right? The sect master is so powerful that he can move mountains. I want to kneel down and watch it. It's so shocking. Sect master is amazing. Qin Wen spoke very stinky at this time. Shen, look at your ignorant appearance. What's there to doubt and marvel at? This is just a routine operation of Brother Feng. It's not me. Even if Brother Feng conjures a wife for me now, I will not at all surprising. Qin Heoxu couldn't help but say, why is your face so big? The sect master doesn't have a wife yet, so I can conjure one for you. Qin Ya reached out and twisted Qin Wen's ear. How old are you? It's not Brother Feng. You're still in high school, and you started thinking about your wife. You want to fall in love early. Ouch. It hurts. I'm going to drop the sister. You do it lightly. It hurts too much. I'm just joking. Besides, I'm not worried that, if I don't fall in love early, I won't have a chance. The end is coming. Who and the idea of falling in love? Qin Feng smiled and said, okay, don't make trouble. Now that you know the end is coming, why don't you hurry up and improve your victory? What are you thinking about? Okay, Brother Feng is right. But why did Brother Feng get this mineral vein? Qin Wen rubbed his ears and asked. Qin Hongfu said with an unfathomable expression, then why don't you ask? Oh. Qin Feng asked curiously, fourth uncle, what am I going to do? I don't know either, but there must be a deep meaning for the sect master to do this. Others rolled their eyes one after another. Well, they thought Qin Hongfu really knew, and airing is just flattering. It's very simple. This ore vein is different from other ores. It can be used to create immortal weapons. In the future, you will also have weapons that you can take advantage of. F***K. Qin Wen's face was full of surprise, and he uttered foul language. Happiness came so suddenly. Brother Feng, you are really kind to us. It turns out that we need weapons. Wahaha, I can't wait. There were also surprised looks on the faces of the others. Sect Master, are we going to use weapons? It's not that fast. What you have to do now is to continue to improve your strength, and then find out the weapons you have in hand, and then report them together to build them. Qin Hongfu nodded. It's still the long-term plan of the Sect Master, and everyone can't be too hasty. Everyone can see it. As long as Qin Feng said, Qin Hongfu firmly shouted right. As long as Qin Feng has to do, Qin Hongfu will firmly support it. No wonder people can become the chief financial officer of the sect. The consciousness is different. There is one more thing. I need to retreat for 3 days and refine the medicinal pills. As long as it is successful, then you will no longer have to worry about going crazy. That's great. The past few days when the sect master was gone, everyone was a little worried, for fear that something would happen again. Yeah, once you get into trouble and endanger your life, it's too worthless. Before the end of the day, you die before you get out of school. Who can stand it? Thank you, Sect Master. Thank you, Sect Master. When everyone looked at Qin Feng, they admired and trusted him even more. Without the knowledge of others, it turns out that Qin Feng has done so much for the clan, and only such a clan leader and suzerain can be more trustworthy. The ore vein is in the village, and there is no need to send someone to guard it for the time being. Qin Feng is confident that, if there is any trouble in the village, he can immediately notice it. After resting that day, Qin Feng entered a closed state the next day. All the medicinal materials needed for Jiaohu and Huchendan have been prepared, as well as the furnace cauldron rewarded by the system. The refining of medicinal herbs is naturally multiplied with half the effort. Qin Feng used his spiritual energy to activate the furnace and proceed step by step according to the system's instructions. Qin Wen, Qin Yap, and Qin Hao learned a few people who spontaneously guarded the periphery. According to Qin Wen's words, protect the law, protect the law. Qin Feng retreats. Is it time to protect the law? Originally, Qin Feng expected it to take 3 days, but in the evening 2 days later, Qin Wen waited a few times before discovering the difference. Look at the competition arena. A few people looked over there and found that a golden light began to bloom, and then the colors became gorgeous in just a quarter of an hour. The brilliance rendered the clouds extraordinarily magnificent, thanks to the existence of the enchantment. Otherwise, the movement in front of you will definitely cause countless people to wait and see and be curious. Qin Wen and several other guardians could see it, and his face was full of excitement. It seems that the sect master succeeded. That's necessary. Qin Wen grinned. Don't say it's refining medicine pills. Even if Brother Feng said that he gave birth to a child in a snap, I really believe it. Few people looked at Qin Wen like a lunatic. Crazy. No matter how powerful Qin Feng is, it would be too hard for him to give birth to a child by himself. The out of phase that lasted for more than half an hour gradually dissipated. While everyone was still talking, they saw Qin Feng walking slowly from the competition arena, facing the evening wind, his clothes fluttering, and his aura was extremely dusty. Even Qin Wen, who is not very serious, saw Qin Feng's appearance, and his expression unconsciously became serious and respectful. When he got closer, Qin Feng smiled and said slowly, "It's done." Although I had long expected this to be the case, several people couldn't help cheering when they heard Qin Feng's confirmation. Qin Feng had already spread out his hand and saw a colorful elixir, the size of a pigeon egg, with a strange aroma and a particularly warm color in his hand. You guys have also kept it for 2 days. Even if it's a reward for you, take it first. Thank you, Brother Feng. Others might give in, but Qin Wen was the first to take it. The medicinal pill melted in the mouth, and a strong fragrance lingered, and a refreshing feeling surged from the danchan to the limbs. Ding. Qin Wen has broken through the 4th order dragon transformation. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the magic breaking method. Ding. Qin Haoxu breaks through the 6th order dragon transformation. Qin Ya breaks through the 5th order dragon transformation. After the 7 guardians took the medicinal pills, they all improved to varying degrees, not to mention the excited expressions on the faces of several people. I thought that the medicinal pill was to solve the problem of going crazy, but I never imagined that there was an unexpected joy, and it could actually improve the strength of everyone. Looking at Qin Feng's eyes now, it is not just admiration, but a kind of gratitude and awe. Even if Qin Feng told them to die immediately, it is estimated that the few people present would not have any hesitation. Qin Feng's expression did not change, but he secretly thought to himself that after all the clan cultivators took Jiazhu and Huchendan, he wondered whether he would succeed in proving the Tao and becoming an emperor. Chapter 54. Where is the difference? Qin Feng arranged for Qin Hongfu to distribute the refined medicinal pills to the clan. Sure enough, after taking it, those clan cultivators have improved their own strengths to varying degrees, and of course they are grateful to Qin Feng again. The system kept reminding the Qin Feng people to improve, but Qin Feng was still unable to prove himself as an emperor. Under the doubts in his heart, Qin Feng chose to retreat in the room. For several days in a row, Qin Feng clearly felt that he had reached the threshold of proving the Tao and becoming an emperor, but he was unable to succeed, as if it was always a little short. Qin Feng, who was a little irritable, simply asked the system, "Why haven't I been able to become an emperor yet?" Ding. Answer: the host lacks an opportunity, so he can't prove the Tao and become an emperor. What's the opportunity? Imperial soldiers, or the experience and test of life and death? Qin Feng is speechless. With his current strength, it is really difficult to go through the test of life and death before the end of the world. The main thing is to give him a chance, and no one can threaten Qin Feng's life. Forget the test of life and death. How do you get the Imperial soldiers? Ding. Dream to get it. Well, the system started not talking to people again. Qin Feng was very angry. Sooner or later, I will destroy your broken system. I depend on the host for life and death. If I destroy it, you will die. Qin Feng asked the sky silently. Then it is really impossible, and there is no threat at all. Okay, speaking of human beings, how do you get Imperial soldiers? It stands to reason that they can also be made from ore veins, right? Ding. The existing mines. It is possible to build immortal soldiers, but it can't reach the level of precision for building emperor soldiers. If you want to build emperor soldiers, you must have immortal gold. After pondering for a while, Qin Feng frowned and asked, "Why can't I feel the existence of the fairy sword?" Ding. I don't want to continue talking to the fool. AOGO's system really stopped talking. That is, Qin Feng's temper is much better now, otherwise, he has to work with the system again. After thinking about it, Qin Feng almost understood. Immortal gold must be hard to come by, so no information can be perceived at all now. Although it is only one line away from Zhengdao and becoming an emperor, it is not easy to really reach that level. Taking a breath, Qin Feng stopped worrying about it for the time being. If it was a big deal, he chose to retreat and keep comprehending. He might have a chance to prove himself and become an emperor. When the time comes, he will see what else to say about the broken system. What we have to do now is also simple, that is, to build weapons for the clan. First point in the next period of time, Qin Feng asked the tribe to report the weapons they wanted. Point start forging with the or in the ore vein. Point you must know that it is not so easy to have an immortal weapon in hand. Before and after, it took almost half a year to build the weapons that the tribes needed. Point on this day, the last child and mother sword was finished. Qin Feng personally handed it over to her sister. Recently, due to the improvement of her strength, Qinzu's temperament has become more and more dusty, like a 9-day mysterious girl descended to the world. After getting the weapon, Kairo's face was very excited. It's good now, thank you brother. Sister, when did you become so polite to me? Hey, aren't you happy? Naturally, the sun will be brighter for you. It's not right. Qin Feng smiled, looked at Qinzu and continued, sister, we grew up together. I don't know you yet. An immortal soldier won't make you so happy. There must be something else. Yo, that's okay, you've seen it all. Tell me, what's the matter? Qinzu smiled, but pretended to be profound, and didn't tell Qin Feng at all. Wait, in 2 days, you'll know. Really? Can't tell now, that won't work. After 2 days, you will understand. Tell you, when the time comes, you will know how good your sister and I are. Seeing that her sister didn't say anything, Qin Feng did not continue to ask. Okay, I originally planned to retreat tomorrow, so I just wait 2 days to see what's going on. Just look at it. When the time comes, you will be surprised. Qinzu left with a smile. Qin Feng smiled dotingly on his face. This is how sisters and brothers are. When they were young, the elder sister must have taken care of the younger brother more, but when they grow up, they will turn around. Before they know it, at that time, the younger brother will become the backbone and support of the elder sister. Seeing that the old lady is so happy, to be honest, Qin Feng is really curious what will happen in 2 days. While thinking about things, there was a knock on the door outside. Enter. Qin Hangfu walked in and was very respectful. Sect Master, I'm sorry to disturb you. Fourth uncle, didn't I say that when there are no outsiders, don't be so polite. We are a family after all. That won't work. You are the suzerain, and now the hope and backbone of the whole clan should have respect, and still have it. Qin Hangfu insisted very much. Qin Feng did not persuade any further, and asked, fourth uncle came to see me, what's the matter? Qin Hangfu, who has always been cheerful, has a rare embarrassment and confusion on his face. Anything, just say it. Rubbing his hands together, Qin Hangfu said, Sect Master, that's right. I said at a meeting half a year ago that we want to develop the tourism industry in our village. I have also built some scenic spots according to the plan I told you, but now there is a problem. Huh? What's the problem? It's also ill-conceived. Our village is not well known, and although the scenery is good, it's not particularly outstanding. Now, there is almost no business, and my hair has fallen out, and I can't think of any way to do it. This is indeed a problem. Well, you can accompany me to see the specific situation first. Qin Feng also knew that, even if the doomsday was coming, the people in the village had to live and eat, and it was impossible to just rely on the fourth uncle to madly put money into it. I checked the scenic spots around and found that the planning was not bad. There was a strong peach blossom forest, there was a sea of flowers, and a small stream flowing around. Ask him, if it is winter now, all are bare, and there are no flowers, how can he be attractive? Sect Master, it's my fault. I was too optimistic about it at the time. Qin Feng waved his hand, not blaming at all. Fourth uncle, you can't say that. You made a suggestion at the beginning, and everyone agreed before you did it. If there's no reason for the problem, it's just you alone. Don't worry, I'll think of a way. Okay, then let the sect master worry more. Qin Hangfu was relieved. Now in the hearts of all the clansmen, Qin Feng is omnipotent. Since he said he wants to find a way, there must be a way. Qin Feng is very helpless now. he is still able to cultivate immortals. You ask me to go on a tour. Wouldn't this be blind? What should I do? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55 Unexpected Visitors. Qin Feng thought about it, but he didn't have a good idea. The whole village can't go out to hand out flyers. The more this is the case, the less people will come, and I think it's a liar after 2 days in a row. Qin Feng thought about various plans in the room, but none of them seemed to be very reliable. Sister Qinzu hurriedly pushed open the door of the room, pulled Qin Feng and walked out. Sister, what are you doing? I'll take you to meet someone. You'll definitely regret not going. Hurry up and leave. Who? Don't ask so many questions. You'll know when you see it. You clean up. Don't make your hair like a chicken coop. Qin Feng said helplessly. It's not as exaggerated as you said. Your brother. I was born handsome. What should I do? You can pull it down and tell you that if this person can come, you don't know how much face I have. I will leave a good impression on people. Don't let people look at them and they don't feel like a good person. There was no other way. Qin Feng could only clean up. It seems that my sister was so excited 2 days ago. She is the one who is coming today. Sister, could it be your boyfriend? Go away. Your boyfriend is a big guy. Hurry up and don't ink it. Urged by Sister Qinzu to pack up, go out the door, all the way to the entrance of the village, and find that the fourth uncle, Qin Wen and several other guardians are waiting there. After seeing Qin Feng, they all said hello. Brother Feng, you are here too. Hello Sovereign. Qin Feng waved his hand, indicating that everyone is welcome. Are you all called by my sister? What's the matter? Sister Zhu didn't say anything. It seems that she wants to meet someone important. While a few people were talking, a motorhome drove by the road at the entrance of the village. Yo, it does seem to have a bit of identity. This RV should cost millions. Looking at the configuration, who is it? Qin Wen and others were discussing curiously. At this time, Qinzu had already greeted them and waved their hands there. This way, this way. The RV stopped, the door opened, and a slender woman walked down, with snow white skin and sunglasses. Her outstanding temperament, even in front of Qinzu, who was cultivating immortals, was not bad at all. Qin Wen widened his eyes and blurted out, "It's a bit beautiful. Why does it look familiar?" "It's familiar, as if I've seen it before." While speaking, the woman took off her sunglasses, but an exclamation sounded. "My God, the Queen of Literature and Art, Yan Xiao. It's really her. I'll be good. She's prettier than on camera." Qin Hangfu was a little excited at this time. Xiaoxu is amazing. To invite a star quietly, it will definitely be of great help to our tourism development. Qin Zhu has always been a fan of Yan Xiao, and the two of them smiled and said a few words before walking towards the crowd. Looking at Qin Feng and others, Qinzu's face was very proud, so she almost said to her face, "I'm amazing, right? Hurry up and praise me. Don't even look at who I invited. Hello, Miss Yan. Miss Yan is so pretty. Let's take a picture together. Can you get an autograph?" Qin Wen, Qin Yu, and Qin Hao learned a few people. After all, they are big and small. Even if they become immortals, it is the first time to experience such a thing, and they seem very excited. Even Qin Ya ran over to sign. Qinzu said there, "You guys calm down. Quality, pay attention to whether quality is successful or not." Yan Xiao has no air, no matter if it is a group photo or an autograph. He is satisfied. "Brother Feng, don't you come and take a photo with Miss Yan?" Yes, Zhang. That, Brother Feng, come here." In front of outsiders, he almost called out the suzerain. Qin Haoxu immediately changed his words. Several people were excited for a long time, and found that they almost ignored the sect master. Qin Hangfu accompanied Qin Feng and asked first, "Miss Yan, our village is developing the tourism industry. I don't know, can I ask you a little favor?" Yan Xiao smiled, like a spring breeze blowing her face, extraordinarily warm. "Do you want to be a spokesperson?" or help to promote it in your village. It's alright. If Miss Yan is willing to help, it would be great. Qin Hongfu didn't have the embarrassment to say what the spokesperson said, but Yan Xiao spoke first. He tilted his head slightly. Charming and lovely. No problem. None of the people present thought that Yan Xiao would agree to it in one fell swoop. Qin Zhu was a little excited and said, Miss Yan, you are too generous. Thank you. Thank you very much. Sister Zhu is amazing. She has such a good relationship with Miss Yan. It is necessary. Sister Zhu is mighty. Several people felt that Yan Xiao must be looking at Qin Zhu's face. Qin Hongfu experienced many storms in the end, and he didn't get carried away. He asked a little worriedly, I don't know how to calculate Miss Yan's remuneration. Yan Xiao is not a big celebrity, but her status in the circle is not low. After all, she is the queen of literature and art. Coming to such a small place as Dakar village is already quite a face point. Never thought about it. Yan Xiao replied with a smile. What's the reward for helping a friend? Almost all the people present were dumbfounded. I go. Is this alright? Qin Zhu was shocked and stunned. I'll go. Didn't I expect the old lady's face to be so big? In other words, Yan Xiao is a fan of her strength. When I left a message to Yan Xiao on the internet, Qin Zhu just tried it with a real name invitation. I didn't expect any feedback from Yan Xiao. I never thought about it. Yan Xiao really replied, and later, she called to communicate and agreed to come. Qin Zhu once thought that she had encountered a liar, mainly because she has now become a cultivator, and she is not afraid of what the liar will do. As a result, she really waited for Yan Xiao. Now, there is another unexpected joy, and the world has become too crazy. When Qin Wen and others felt that Qin Zhu was extremely powerful, Yan Xiao walked up to Qin Feng. The look on the pretty face suddenly became a little complicated, and in the eyes, it was as bright and affectionate as autumn water. Qin Feng, long time no see. As I said, we will definitely meet again. The voice still has a unique sweetness, and the smile is like a flower. After pondering for a while, Qin Feng smiled and nodded. It's been a long time indeed. Everyone was stunned. I'm going. What's the situation? I never thought that the sect master Qin Feng knew Yan Xiao, and judging from the tone of the two people's words and the expression on Yan Xiao's pretty face, I'm afraid they have a close relationship. Qin Zhu was stunned, as if something was wrong. She thought that she had enough face. Now, it seems that Qin Feng, the silent old brother, seems to have more face. No, I can't have my idol, the queen of literature and art, have the potential to become my own sister-in-law? Qin Zhu felt like she was dreaming, but Qin Wen took it for granted. Sure enough, Brother Feng is Brother Feng, and everything is a routine operation. Even the queen of literature and art, crying and shouting to marry Brother Feng, doesn't seem to be so impressive. It's hard to accept. Chapter 56, 10 Miles of Peach Blossoms. The people present were not fools. After it was obvious that Qin Feng and Yan Xiao had a close relationship, they began to make excuses to leave. I still cook porridge at home, so I have to go back and have a look. Oh, yes, my mother told me to go back and be beaten. I'm going. What the hell are you calling you to go back and be beaten? Don't worry about me, my mother said. Beat the child on a cloudy day. Let's be idle. I'll go first. Qin Yao followed up and said that, by the way, my mother told me to go home for dinner and go first. Qin Wen asked in confusion, sister, it's a little early for lunch at this time. Where's all the nonsense coming from? Just go home. If you go home, hurry up. Qin Ya pinched Qin Wen's ear and left. After a while, Qin Feng and Yan Xiao were left. Qin Feng shook his head helplessly. How can these people run faster than rabbits? Yan Xiao pursed her lips and smiled. I'm here. Won't you show me around? Okay, then I'll show you around. Speaking of which, Qin Feng can't drive others away. He can only act as a free guide. Walking in the village casually, Yan Xiao looked very happy at the surrounding scenery. The view is good. This is a bit fake. If you are in spring, the scenery is fine, but in winter, there is nothing to see. I just think it looks good. By the way, I mainly thank you for coming this time. My grandfather's illness has been cured. That's good. After Hesitating for a while, Yan Xiao asked in a low voice, "Do you know about the Orvanes?" Qin Feng understands that Yan Xiao must be talking about the mysterious disappearance of her family's mineral veins. "Can you not know? This is still Qin Feng's handwriting." "I know it all." Yan Xiao breathed a sigh of relief and smiled. "That's good. I thought something went wrong, and I cheated on you. Now that you know, I'm relieved. Also, I haven't told any outsiders, not even my relatives, about the mines at home." When the words fell, Yan Xiao blinked. When the Orvane disappeared, the family was really surprised and curious, but nothing was found later, and they didn't think the Orvane was so precious, so the matter was settled. Yan Xiao knew very well that Qin Feng was the only one who could do such a bizarre thing. In order not to cause unnecessary trouble to Qin Feng, the little girl was really tight-lipped and didn't tell anyone about it. Qin Feng pondered and said, "Later, I thought about it. I owe you a favor for the mine. If you encounter anything in the future, you can come to me. If you can help, I will definitely help." Yan Xiao lowered her head and thought for a while, and finally shook her head. "No. To be honest, I know how rare it is to make you owe a favor. However, in my heart, that mineral vein is not as good as 1,000-year-old ginseng. We are exchanged for equal value. If you think you owe something, it's over. It's over." Qin Feng didn't say anything, but he admired Yan Xiao somewhat in his heart. This girl has clear grievances, and most importantly, she also knows how to think about others, which is very good. While the two were talking, they arrived at the Shelly Peach Blossom where Qin Hongfu had people planted, and there was a sea of flowers next to it. Unfortunately, it was a cold winter scene, and there was nothing to see. It's a pity. If I didn't come this season, I would be able to see the flowers all over the sky. It's beautiful when I think about it. Qin Feng smiled and said slowly, "Nothing to regret. Just wait until next time. My time is sometimes not easy to arrange. After returning from here, I should join the group and prepare for a new movie. It may take a long time." "Oh, I see." Qin Feng's expression remained unchanged, and he sighed inwardly. Ordinary people still don't know the news that the doomsday will come. They will still have their own normal lives and some plans. Perhaps, not knowing the terrible news is not bad for Yan Xiao. Thinking of this, Qin Feng did not reveal the news of the doomsday. "By the way, let me give you a present." Yan Xiao's pretty face was full of surprise, and she blurted out, "Yeah." After she finished speaking, her pretty face turned a little red. Qin Feng didn't care and took out the classic novel, Covering the Sky. Yan Xiao was stunned. She had fantasized about all kinds of gifts just now, but she never thought that Qin Feng would come up with a novel. This is a gift that a straight man of steel would give a girl. You can take a look when you are free. Qin Feng also didn't think that Yan Xiao would definitely become an immortal cultivator, but it was only a kind of compensation for Yan Xiao. After all, in Qin Feng's opinion, that mineral vein is much more precious than 1,000-year-old ginseng. Why Yan Xiao has a chance or not depends on her own good fortune. Maybe in her capacity, after leaving Ducal Village, she will throw away the novel. "Thank you." Yan Xiao said something and put away the novel point with some reluctance and regret on the pretty face. She said softly, "I can't stay here for too long. I have something to do in the afternoon. When I have a chance next time, can I still come here to see it?" Qin Feng was non-committal and just replied, "In a few days, I will travel far away, maybe a year or two." Although he said that, in fact, Qin Feng wanted to retreat to attack the Taoist emperor, and to Yan Xiao, he simply said that he was out of the way. "Ah, then, that's a pity. I'm still thinking about having a chance to see the Shelly Peach blossoms here. There's nothing else to do, then. See you then. Goodbye." Qin Feng nodded and didn't mean to send Yan Xiao off, but just stood there. The incomparably charming Yan Xiao waved goodbye. After walking a few steps, I suddenly heard Qin Feng's voice, "Miss Yan, look back." Yan Xiao stopped in doubt and turned around. The next moment, with a face full of incredulity, he covered his mouth with his hand. Otherwise, he would definitely scream. In the cold winter, in the chilly peach blossom forest behind Qin Feng. At this moment, a dreamlike flower began to bloom. What's more, this is just the beginning. The spiritual energy in Qin Feng's body is constantly wandering. In the circumstances that outsiders can't detect it. In the terrestrial veins of Dukao village, 10 miles of peach blossoms bloom against the cold wind, and the large sea of flowers also begins to bloom continuously. Extraordinarily dreamy, perhaps. There is nothing to regret. Qin Feng's voice was gentle, standing in the 10-mile peach blossom forest, like a dream. After Yan Xiao was shocked, she was unconsciously moved, and her eyes were slightly red. Thanks. Yan Xiao, who was a little reluctant to give up, deliberately left a few more photos before leaving. After getting into the car, Yan Xiao thought silently in her heart, some people you don't know, in my heart, how can chilly peach blossom compare to you? Chapter 57 Peace of Mind Retreat. Qin Feng didn't think much about it. He just wanted to thank Yan Xiao for the clues to the mines. He didn't want people to come here. Back in the room, I was still thinking about how to develop the tourism industry in the village. Otherwise, I would not be able to retreat with peace of mind. As soon as he came back, the door of the room was pushed open. Kinzu's eyes were blazing with gossip flames, and she couldn't wait to ask, "What's the matter? Tell me quickly." "What? I warn you, Kit, don't think you are the suzerain, so I don't dare to beat you. I'm your sister. Yuri's still playing stupid with me there, and I'll ask you and Yan Xiao what's going on." Qin Feng thought for a while and said, "Last time, when I didn't go out to look for medicinal materials, I met her. When she was in danger, she helped out, that's all." The light in Kinzu's eyes brightened. "Oh, the hero saves the beauty. Brother, you can do it. It seems that our family's ancestral grave is billowing with smoke, and you really want to marry a star." Qin Feng directly asked the sky without words. "You can pull it down. There's no such possibility. Then again, what's our family's ancestral grave billowing with smoke? Your brother is an immortal cultivator, and the old sister doesn't take me seriously." "That's right. Even if you marry Yan Xiao, it's not a big deal. I think it's reliable. As a younger sister-in-law, I'm still satisfied. Chasing a star to become a younger sister-in-law is unprecedented. The one. I really don't want to chat with my sister Kinzu. I still have something to do. Can you go out first?" Okay, I won't disturb you. Next time Yao comes back, you should tell me in advance that my parents want to meet, and I'm in a hurry this time." Qin Feng clutched his forehead and asked the heavens speechlessly, "Where is this going?" When Qin Feng was tangled and helpless, Yan Xiao posted a status on the internet, accompanied by pictures of chilly peach blossom and the sea of flowers. 10 miles of peach blossoms in winter. Soon, some fans of Yan Xiao began to leave messages. "Yeah, where did our little fairy go? The scenery is so beautiful. My lady queen is going to make a movie. Here are the props and scenes that were set up. Where did the peach blossoms come from in winter?" Soon, Yan Xiao replied, "In Dukao village in Luo city, there are really 10 miles of peach blossoms. Wow, I'm so happy. I've been following you for 2 years, and today I was finally overturned. Queen Yao is the most beautiful. Luo city, Dukao village? It's not far from me. There are really 10 miles of peach blossoms. I have to go and see. Let's go together. Go together. The 10-mile peach blossom forest in winter is romantic." The following messages quickly exceeded tens of thousands. No matter what, Yan Xiao's acting skills have been online all the time, and most of them are literary films, which are considered a clear stream in the circle, but all fans are true fans, and their appeal is not bad. The next day, Qin Feng was still trying to find a way, but Qin Hongfu came in a hurry. "Sect Master, it's on fire. It's on fire." Qin Feng looked indifferent and said, "Fourth uncle, don't worry. Where is the fire?" There's no fire. I mean that the tourism industry in our village is alive. Since this morning, hundreds of people have come one after another, and they are all busy." Qin Feng was surprised. "What's going on? Did the fourth uncle think of something?" "Sect Master, you are too modest, isn't it all up to you? Qin Feng's expression remained the same, and he couldn't help but complain. It has nothing to do with me. Now the clan people think that everything is done by themselves. Next, the sows in the village will give birth to cubs. Do they all depend on themselves? Sect. Master, I heard Xiaoxu say that Miss Yan Xiao is really helpful. She is a big star. She personally promoted it to us on the internet. Moreover, your handwriting was too big yesterday. The peach blossoms in 10 miles are a sea of flowers. You are worthy of being a suzerain, and your brain is flexible. In this big winter, with this scenery, it is difficult for our village to not be popular. Qin Feng thought silently, well, this is really a matter of planting flowers and not blooming, and inadvertently planting willows to make a shade, so why didn't he think about it at all? As a result, the tourism industry is still in a mess. Fourth. Uncle, calm down, it's just a trivial matter. Since there is no problem with traveling in the village, you should pay more attention. I should also retreat, Qin Hang Fu responded with a serious face. Don't worry, Sect Master, I will definitely live up to my trust. At this time, there are still a large number of tourists pouring in into Cow Village Point at the beginning. Everyone was very skeptical about the 10 miles of peach blossoms in winter, but when it really arrived, they were instantly shocked. The blooming flowers in winter are very eye-catching, and more importantly, because Qin Feng submerged into the earth veins with aura, the 10-mile peach blossoms, and a sea of flowers, invisible, giving people a sense of incomparable holiness. Strolling through it, I was intoxicated physically and mentally, and when I left, I even felt refreshed, because of the aura point this time. It is even more spread by 10 by 100, and more people will come. Qin Hang Fu couldn't help it, so he immediately offered a high price, and found a lot of people. Otherwise, if he just depended on the clan to take care of him, he wouldn't have to think about cultivating immortals, and he would be exhausted. Qin Feng can finally retreat with peace of mind. No matter what, before the doomsday comes, he will be more confident if he can prove the Tao and become an emperor. When I was about to enter the closed state, there was a sudden message from the system. Ding. Yan Xiao has broken through the realm of the divine possession of the Taoist palace, awakened the bloodline of the strange beast crane of the Shanhaijing, and congratulations to the host for comprehending the Taixijing. Qin Feng couldn't help but stunned. This was really an accident within an accident. No one would have thought that Yan Xiao's talent was so amazing that he didn't throw away the novel, but became an immortal cultivator. He smiled. Qin Feng didn't take it too seriously. Speaking of which, Yan Xiao is a good person. Now that he has become a cultivator, he has some means of self-protection in the face of the doomsday, which is a good thing after all. Qin Feng took a deep breath, eliminated distracting thoughts, and entered a state of retreat with peace of mind. The clan cultivators in the village are also stepping up their efforts to improve their strength, and the days are passing by day. Seeing that the end of the world is only 2 months away, Qin Feng, who was in closed-door retreat most of the time, has not been able to become an emperor for a long time. Every time he hits, he feels a little bit worse. Qin Feng wanted to give up. When the doomsday came, when all races of monsters and beasts invaded, they would experience the test of life and death sooner or later unexpectedly. Qin Feng, who was about to leave the customs, suddenly noticed a familiar spiritual energy, and in a relatively distant place, there was a strange feeling. Ding. Congratulations to the host. Finding the traces of immortality gold. Qin Feng suddenly opened his eyes, and it seemed that the helpers who helped themselves would not be able to feel the familiar spiritual energy if they hadn't been in seclusion all the time, thinking about Xianjin's affairs. And now that they have found traces, what will happen next? Everything is easier to do. Chapter 58 Traces of Immortal Gold. After Qin Feng felt the breath of Xianjin, he gave up the retreat and left in the dark without disturbing the rest of the village. If the clansmen find out, it may cause unnecessary panic. In the final analysis, the time of the end is getting closer and closer, and the clansmen who knew the news earlier could not be so calm. Qin Feng, as the real backbone, will make everyone feel at ease in the village. In this case, it is better to give them the illusion that Qin Feng is still in seclusion point. Although he failed to become an emperor, Qin Feng's movement speed has been significantly improved after a long period of retreat. Taking advantage of the night, Qin Feng's speed was astonishingly fast. Galloping freely above the sky. It took more than a day to reach the top of the Pacific Ocean, and the breath of Xianjin came from here. At this time, US aircraft carriers and warships are conducting military exercises here. It sounds good to say that it is to maintain world peace and improve actual combat capabilities. The real purpose is nothing more than showing off force and deterring a few small countries nearby. A beautiful country. Even if you are interested in other people's resources, you will not say it clearly. Anyway, I'm a military exercise, and I will block the nearby waters and enforce airspace control. Look at the aircraft carrier. Look at the battleship. Strong, right? Then don't hurry up and think about paying the protection fee. Otherwise, there will be various blockades every minute, and if you don't get on the road, then you will really start a just war. Air traffic control has little effect on Qin Feng. Successfully avoiding the fighter's inspection, Qin Feng directly submerged into the deep sea. At this time, Qin Feng has completely awakened, or has regained the ability to suck the tires. In the deep sea, there is no diving equipment, and there will be no problems. In fact, when a person is a baby, in the amniotic fluid, they will suck, but in the process of growth, they degenerate. Qin Feng continued to descend, and not long after, he had already dived several hundred meters. The so-called outmasters are bold, that's all. If you change to someone else, you don't dare to be like Qin Feng. With the continuous diving, Qin Feng can feel the breath of Xianjin, which is getting stronger and stronger. Now there is no need for any worries and doubts. Xianjin must be in the sea area in the deep sea. Qin Feng had the experience in Changbei Mountain, and the more he went to the back, the more cautious he became. 1000-year-old ginseng and 1000-year-old Polygonum multiflorum will be guarded by monsters or exotic beasts. This is a fairy sword that is enough to create an imperial soldier. Is it just in the deep sea and difficult to find? It shouldn't be so simple. Qin Feng has foreseen that there may be danger in advance. All kinds of fish in the seabed, even whales, avoid Qin Feng, let alone attack. The creatures and fishes on the seabed are extremely sensitive, and it is not bad that Qin Feng does not trouble them. It is good. The depth of the dive continued to increase, and gradually, Qin Feng could no longer see the fish. There is no need to think about it. There are no fish in the sea, which is obviously wrong. Either there are other large sea creatures nearby, or there are more monstrous strange species that are spying. Qin Feng's expression remained unchanged, and he continued down. The aura of Xianjin is already very strong. Qin Feng is in the sea, and his eyesight is not affected in any way. He has already seen a huge coral group over there, and the aura of Xianjin is also coming from there. It was at this time that Qin Feng heard a strange sound. The voice was very low, and then, in the deep sea, a fiery red light flickered in a trance. In the front right, it was like a huge fiery red searchlight in the deep sea, followed by a vortex, a terrifying force, sweeping away. You know, in the water, once you encounter violent fluctuations, it is more powerful than on land. Qin Feng was able to stably hover in place without any influence, but the deep voice stirred again, and the incomparably huge figure approached here. Qin Feng has already seen that it is a strange beast in the sea with huge scales and sharp mouth, like a long strange fish. The most surprising thing is that the underwater monster has only one eye, but it was as big as a grinding disc, and the light like a searchlight came from the eyes. Not very sure. Qin Feng remembered hearing a legend a long time ago. There was a candle dragon with only one eye. When the candle dragon closed his eyes, it was night, and when he opened his eyes, it was day. The monster in the sea in front of him is somewhat similar to the legendary candle dragon. Having said that, legends are legends. When you are in the bottom of the sea and encounter a terrifying sea monster, what does it feel like? It should be terrifying to think about. At this moment, Qin Feng's expression was extremely calm, his eyes did not evade, and he looked directly at the monsters in the sea. But, with a low roar, the body swam with a bang. The incomparably tyrannical force hit Qin Feng, and the surrounding sea water seemed to be sucked into the vortex, surrounded Qin Feng, and ripped Qin Feng to pieces in minutes. Qin Feng's right hand was raised, and even in the sea, the strong wind could not stop it from lingering around in point. The majestic wind blades condensed, neither dodging nor evading nor retreating, slammed into the sea monsters. Two tyrannical forces collided with a bang. In the deep sea, there was almost no loud noise, but the vast force, after the collision, slammed upwards unconsciously. At this time, above the sea, the wind is calm and the sun is still good. The United States was on the aircraft carrier of the military exercise, and suddenly a siren kept sounding. On top of each warship, connected to the order, the radar detected huge energy fluctuations in the deep sea, and now it is initially suspected that it is the intense activity of the deep sea crust, and there is danger, and immediately retreat. The soldiers on the American warships couldn't help but curse. Before the military exercise, they had not detected it long ago, and it was expected that there would not be a major storm or crustal activity. Now, why has it suddenly changed? The same point the warship was already evacuating to the periphery, but the explosion of huge energy was much faster than expected. Whoa, accompanied by a loud noise, there were suddenly tens of meters of waves surging above the sea. Almost a devastating force spread out. Oh God, this must be the awakening of the devil at the bottom of the sea. God, get out of here. My God, please save your devout believers. Those US warships, which are closer to the waves, have no extra time to react. Boom, click, the screams, the cracks, and the roar of the waves were constantly intertwined. 5 or 6 battleships were destroyed in an instant. I don't know how many people died on the spot. The faces of the battleships on the periphery and the people on the aircraft carrier changed wildly. Something was wrong. If it was a storm caused by the violent activity of the Earth's crust, there would be no signs of it, and it shouldn't have such a terrifying destructive force. Chapter 59. The 7 Types of Extinguishing God. The waves were roaring and surging. Aircraft carriers and battleship groups continued to withdraw to the periphery. Captain Pete, I need to know what the hell is going on, sir. The radar cannot detect the specific situation. What about nuclear submarines? The turbulent power in the sea and the destructive power are too powerful. In this case, the nuclear submarine cannot complete the dive of the characters, and the risk is too great. Sir, it is recommended to stop acting immediately and stay away from this sea area. Hell, the battleship was damaged. The cause must be found out. Sir, there is nothing I can do about the current situation. The aquiline-nosed officer had a particularly gloomy expression on his face. After thinking for a moment, he gave the order to stop acting and evacuate immediately. At the same time, he started making calls with the satellite phone. William, it's me. Hello, General Heckle. I suspect that there are supernatural beings in the Pacific Ocean, and I need support. The supernatural beings? Okay, I understand the general. At this time, deep under the sea, the fierce battle between Qin Feng and the monsters in the sea continued. Point being, in the sea is the home of others, and the attacks of monsters in the sea, wave after wave, are extraordinarily powerful. Come. The knife. With Qin Feng's anger, the demon slayer is already in his hands, but, facing the majestic monster in the sea, the demon slayer sword made a sharp humming sound, as if revealing an extremely high fighting spirit. Qin Feng gathered his strength and slashed out with one knife. The surrounding sea water collapsed to both sides, and the power of a knife, in the depths of the sea, had a terrifying power to cut off the water. The strange roar of the monster in the sea was extremely low. The huge body rushed forward, rolling up countless vortices, and attacked frantically. Break. Once the knife is out, there is no reason to give up. Halfway point, the peak of the sword gang's strength erupted, and it collided with the incoming vortex. Boom. In the depths of the sea, there is once again a destructive force surging. Point at this time, above the sea, the waves rose into the sky, which looked extremely terrifying, and it was estimated that a huge tsunami would soon be caused. Qin Feng's expression was calm and his eyes were firm. Open. The demon-slaying saber swept across. At this moment, Qin Feng had completely integrated the system leader's 7 destroying gods, and the vast aura around his body made the world change color. The knife light flickered, and in the sea water, a cross of death was intertwined. There is no way out. Qin Feng does not retreat but advances. The spiritual energy in the body is wandering wildly. At this moment, Qin Feng is a devastating force. Once the demon-slaying sword is out, it can cut off water, split mountains, slay demons, and destroy gods. The majestic strength rushed to its peak state, and a humanized panic appeared in the huge eyes of the monster in the sea. Obviously, the monster running wild in the sea never thought that Qin Feng, who was incomparably small in its eyes, could burst out with such terrifying power. Destroy. Qin Feng kept moving forward, and his momentum thought he was reaching the peak. However, as he got closer, he realized that the overall momentum and strength were still rising against the trend, and it was extremely terrifying. At this moment, the monster in the sea had lost the courage to confront Qin Feng, and chose to retreat, even thinking about running away. The seawater in front of him continued to collapse to both sides, and the monsters in the sea retreated very fast, but Qin Feng's speed was even faster. But the sharp humming sound stirred again, and the strength of the sword gang continued to rise. Die. The knife light flashed away, and there was a miserable and strange roar. In the sea water, bright red has begun to permeate. The monster in the sea no longer had any intention of attacking Qin Feng. On the verge of death, it swayed wildly. The powerful force constantly made the sea water agitate. In the sea at this time, because of the continuous impact of monstrous waves, a huge storm was caused. The US fleet and aircraft carrier, which are known as invincible at sea, have already evacuated far away at this time, and they dare not approach this side at all. God, that must be the power of God. No, the devil. The devil is angry. That's why he brought us disaster. God, is this all true? Should I trust my eyes? Everyone's faces were constantly changing, and they felt that what happened in front of them was particularly unreal. In the sea, the monster has completely disappeared. Qin Feng put away the demon-slaying sword, and was not interested in taking another look at the monsters in the sea. Calmly in the coral group, following the familiar atmosphere, I finally found a place. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining immortal gold, and rewarding the Imperial soldiers for creating secret techniques. With the confirmation of the system, there will be no mistakes. Qin Feng used the force of the enchantment to completely wrap the immortal gold, just like the ore veins disappeared mysteriously at the beginning, so as to avoid the fluctuation of the immortal gold's breath. Outsiders leave clues, and cause unnecessary trouble. At the same time, the Western superhuman who got the news has rushed to the vicinity of the Pacific Ocean. The waves are monstrous, and there is still a destructive force surging. William, I need to know what the hell is going on. William, who led the team, sucked in the air, and his face was a little embarrassed. General. Equal, in this case, even we don't dare to approach easily. William, are you kidding me? Did you forget your identities? To say such funny things to me. General, I understand what you mean, but we are human beings, not gods after all. The power of terror is enough to make anyone who dares to get close to die, and what you want to investigate will eventually be investigated, but it is definitely not now. Equals. Face was at 10, but there was nothing he could do. He couldn't order these extraordinary people brought by William, and he didn't expect that the power fluctuations here would make the extraordinary people shy away. Could it be that he was really a devil at the bottom of the sea? After a while, the waves finally began to slow down, and the destructive force of terror began to weaken. William narrowed his eyes and said, now, it's finally time to wait. William, who came here, was very curious about what happened. He judged that it was indeed because of the appearance of the extraordinary that caused the current appearance. It is very important to find out the identity of the other party and the purpose. After the danger was within the controllable range, William rushed forward with 3 people. Have you sensed any useful information? Not at all. Keep going. At this moment, a black extraordinary person suddenly changed his face and blurted out, "God, what is that?" Several people looked in the direction pointed by the black superhuman, but saw nothing. William was very dissatisfied. James, I don't think you should make such a fuss, because I didn't see anything surprising. No, sir, it's just because the speed is too fast. I swear to God, I must have read it right just now. It seems that a man with an oriental face disappeared from there in the blink of an eye. Chapter 60 The Favor of God. William looked a little complicated and asked, are you sure you read it right? What does that person look like? The speed is too fast. I really can't see his appearance clearly, and, in my eyes, the Oriental men are all the same, and I can't tell them apart. James spread his hands helplessly. After pondering for a while, William's face became more solemn. Damn it, I always have a bad hunch. Maybe that person is related to the original mine. Could it be the Oriental Immortal that Paul mentioned at the time? I can't be sure. For more than a year, a lot of people have been sent to investigate the original matter, but unfortunately, nothing has been found. Of course, everything is my guess, so let's investigate first. At the same time, Hekel on the aircraft carrier received the following message. General, the radar detected the situation on the bottom of the sea and found the bodies of unknown creatures, which are extremely large. It is speculated that the storm and tsunami just now was caused by that huge creature. Hekel frowned. Undersea creatures. It makes no sense to suddenly go crazy. What is the cause of death? Sorry, General, I can't answer this question yet. Maybe it's time to send a nuclear submarine for reconnaissance. After thinking about it, Hekel waved his hand. Don't worry, I'm still waiting for news. You don't have to think much to know that Hekel is still waiting for news from William. Fortunately, they quickly gave feedback. General Hekel, we found an Oriental man nearby. What about that person? I'm sorry, we only saw it, but we didn't have the chance to stop him, and we couldn't even see his appearance clearly. We speculate that what happened here is most likely related to that Oriental man. Hekel went to a place where no one answered the phone and asked in a low voice, what do you mean? That Oriental man is an extraordinary person. It is almost certain that he is definitely not an ordinary person. We call it an extraordinary person, and the Orientals prefer to call it an immortal. Not long ago I got radar detection news that there are huge corpses of unknown creatures on the bottom of the sea. William's face was solemn, and he said slowly, General, we need your cooperation. Go to the sea to investigate, determine whether the undersea creatures were killed by others, then all have clues. Hekel agreed immediately. No problem, our battleship is damaged, things must be checked. Although William and the others are extraordinary, they do not have the ability of Qin Feng to dive into the deep sea alone. With the cooperation of nuclear submarines and professional diving equipment, they finally reached the place where the fierce battle took place. When he saw the gigantic corpse, William was truly shocked and almost felt that he must have read it wrong. After calming down, I checked again and found that the huge sea creatures were indeed killed in fierce battles. The two people who dived into the deep sea looked at each other and could see deep shock and fear in their eyes. After returning to the surface of the sea, he immediately reported everything to Hekel. William, you should understand what you're talking about. You're really not joking. My honorable general, I have no intention of joking now. Everything I said is true. Then, let me ask you, if it were you, in the deep sea, could you kill that huge sea monster? After thinking about it, William sighed. General, I have to admit that I don't have that strength. Perhaps that Eastern man must have been favored by God to have such terrifying strength. This matter must be investigated to the end. The battleship cannot be destroyed in vain, and someone must be responsible for the losses here. We'll keep going, although the words are firm. In fact, they have no confidence in whether the results can be traced. Especially William. I feel that if we can find out, in the case of the original mine, there should be a result long ago. The military exercise in the United States can only end in a slump, and I dare not report the specific things in it. Otherwise, it will be a joke. Qin Feng is naturally not interested in the follow-up. Flying at high altitude can basically avoid being shot by others. Moreover, Qin Feng's current perception ability is much stronger than radar. If he avoids it in advance, no one can easily find Qin Feng's trace point all the way back to the village. Qin Feng took a rest and chose to exit. The cultivators in the village did not even know that Qin Feng had ever gone out. Sister Kinzu hurried over. You've been in retreat for a long time. How do you feel? It feels good, and I have gained a lot. That's good. According to you, the end of the world is getting closer. Anything you gain is good news for all of us. Qin Feng smiled and asked, I closed for a while. Nothing happened, right? Nothing happened. Qin Wen and Qin Heo learned from those people. They worked hard and their strength improved very quickly. Qin Feng nodded, knowing that his sister Qin Zhu didn't tell a lie. It was very simple. Qin Feng already got the news through the system. When any clan's strength improved, the tourism industry in the village is developing very well. By the way, when it comes to this matter, I have to thank Yan Xiao. After you retreated, Yan Xiao came to the village twice at the beginning, according to your instructions, saying that you were traveling far away already. Afterwards, Yan Xiao never came again. It's a pity that your retreat feels like you've closed my sister-in-law. On his handsome face, extremely helpless, Qin Feng said, "Sister, don't talk about this nonsense. Okay, I won't say it if I don't say it. It's just that it's a pity after all. You don't know, recently, Yan Xiao is different from before. Very popular and very popular." "Oh, is that so?" Qin Feng asked casually. Unable to hold her sister, Qin Zhu immediately began to explain. "You don't know, Yan Xiao later took up a martial arts drama, and it became an instant hit. They all say that her martial arts movements are particularly charming, and she has won awards one after another. Now, she is the proper first martial arts actress." Qin Feng moved in his heart and smiled. "I'm not surprised about this. She can definitely do it. Others may not know. How can Qin Feng not know? Long before Qin Feng retreated, Yan Xiao has become a cultivator, but this girl is really good, and did not disclose any news. With Yan Xiao's current strength, becoming a martial arts woman is definitely easy and enjoyable. The only pity is that there is not much time for the scenery. When the end of the world comes, I don't know how many great changes will be made." After Qin Feng thought of this, he felt that he could not delay any longer. He must refine the Imperial soldiers as soon as possible and seek the final breakthrough. Chapter 61. Consistent Dissimilarity. When Qin Feng was about to forge the Imperial soldiers, Yan Xiao was filming on the set. The props group leaves the stage, lights, takes pictures, prepares, and then starts the real shooting. As the director's voice fell, Yan Xiao, who was dressed in white and ancient costume, like a goddess, descended to the earth, suddenly became taller. The hanging wire keeps climbing, and it has to be more than 10 meters away from the ground. With a long sword in hand, he fought with several professional martial arts actors in front of him. The expression on the director's face is very satisfied, and he feels that Yan Xiao is amazing. Looking at the fan, it is not something that some top-notch flowers can compare with. What he wants is professionalism and pleasing to the eye. Everything was going well originally, but what people didn't expect was that there was a sudden click sound from wire. An accident happened, and wire, who was hanging from Yan Xiao's body, completely collapsed. There was an exclamation from the scene. At a height of more than 10 meters, wire broke, and then it was definitely a tragedy. The director and the producers on the scene were blacked out and almost fainted. With Yan Xiao's current worth and fame, if there is an accident, it's not a matter of bankruptcy, it's over. Isn't it all over? The few martial arts actors who originally played with Yan Xiao were all stunned. Even if you want to save, you don't have that ability. At the moment when wire collapsed, Yan Xiao's body had already fallen downward, and the exclamations on the scene were even louder after Yan Xiao's initial panic. The look on her pretty face immediately became very calm and indifferent. Perhaps even Yan Xiao didn't realize that after encountering things, her way of handling things and her mentality became more and more like those who used to be in Changbei Mountain. That Qin Feng. The spiritual energy in the body wandered. Yan Xiao stabilized her figure, although she still fell down, but after her body stood firm, she only stumbled a little and did not fall. Everyone on the set was dumbfounded. I'm going. What's the situation? Is it absolutely dazzling? Yan Xiao can still stand. Yan Xiao glanced at wire at this time and said, "Am I too heavy?" Those people on the set only reacted at this time. The second director of the scene, the person in charge of the props team, rushed over directly. "Teacher Yan, are you alright?" "It's okay, I'm fine," followed, shouted in one voice. "What? Do the props group eat? Is this a joke? How did you check it? You don't want to watch it, right? Go away, leave it all to me now, I can't support you guys." Do you know, if you are going to die, you bastards, hurry up and get out. The few people in charge of We Are's props were disheartened, and there was obvious fear in their expressions. Thanks to God bless, Yan's IAO is fine, otherwise, they will definitely be finished. Unexpectedly, Yan's IAO, who should have been the most angry, spoke at this time. Director, forget it. When there are mistakes, next time, ask them to use more snacks. Just be careful. I'm fine anyway. Oh, Mr. Yan, you are really beautiful and kind-hearted. On behalf of all the crew, thank you very much. The producer kept thanking beside him. Under normal circumstances, even if Yan's IAO was furious, it would be normal to just throw a slap in the face. If the props team made a mistake, their film would be rubbish, and all the leaders would lose their money. The producer looked at Yan's IAO, and felt like seeing Guanyin Bodhisattva who saved the suffering. Mr. Yan, take a rest first. Take a rest. We will give you an explanation for this matter. Yan's IAO smiled and nodded, knowing that the props team had to be rectified on the set, and she didn't want to get involved in the rest. When he was about to go to rest, the manager's face was still pale. IAO, are you really okay? Do you want to go to the hospital for a full body check? Don't worry, I'm really fine. In the eyes of others, Yan's IAO's safe landing is considered a miracle among miracles. Okay. It's too outrageous. The props team doesn't know how to prepare. I have to coordinate with them. If we do this, we won't shoot. There's no need to embarrass them too much. IAO, you are just too kind. I have to talk about this, otherwise they think you are easy to bully. The agent was still angry, and went to the director and producer. Yan's IAO thought about it, but didn't stop her anymore. In the end, it was her current self who had to lose. In the past, something must have happened just now. When Yan's IAO was resting in the RV, Qin Feng unconsciously came to mind. I thought that the novel that I gave back was a gift that only straight men of steel would give, but I never expected that Yan's IAO had successfully embarked on the road of immortality after reading it. That is to say, from that time on, Yan's IAO was completely certain that the popular flying in the air on the internet and the forcible stop of vehicles were definitely from Qin Feng's hands of showing off. Yan's IAO has looked for Qin Feng twice, but unfortunately, she never saw it. Later, she realized that Qin Feng's strength is absolutely unfathomable, so she must work hard and constantly improve herself. When Qin Feng is in front of him, he will not feel ashamed. Maybe, finally one day, but face that person and tell him loudly, I like you. Qin Feng has already taken out the immortal gold. The system is in hand. I have it in the world, and the method of forging imperial soldiers has naturally been known for a long time. However, according to the system, if you want to forge an imperial soldier, the time cannot be too fast, and it will take 7 days and 7 nights from the first day. There has been a strange occurrence in Dukao village. In the sky, there was heavy rain pouring down, and the most strange thing was that only the whole village was covered with rain, and the sun was shining brightly in other places on the second day. There was lightning and thunder in the village. Fortunately, most of the clansmen were immortal cultivators, so they were not very afraid of this. The heavy rain continued for several days. Qin Feng was in the competition field, constantly using his spiritual energy to activate the immortal sword to achieve the effect of forging. Having said that, this is Qin Feng. If it was someone else, he would definitely not have that strength and perseverance. In the sky, dark clouds covered the city, giving people a feeling that the city was about to be destroyed by dark clouds. Some of the clansmen even thought that it was not the end of the world. That Qin Feng said was premature. They have not seen such strange weather for many years. Finally, the time came to the 7th day. Without warning, the continuous heavy rain stopped abruptly to day. In the sky, there are no clouds, and a splendid rainbow can be seen appearing in the direction of the back mountain. The clansmen in the village finally breathed a sigh of relief. After all, no one likes continuous rainy weather at this moment. Without any warning, there was a sudden humming sound, which sounded like the legendary dragon roar. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. we cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62. The Imperial Soldier Dragon Yin Sword. The clan cultivators in Dukao village were in shock. Even more incredible things happened at this time. Chuck, the long sword in Qin Wen's hand was unsheathed without warning. The expression on his face was completely confused. Qin Wen blurted out, "Damn, what's the situation?" Just now, he didn't touch the long sword at all, but the next moment, the long sword flew into the sky and flew away. Come back to me." Qin Wen quickly rose up against the wind and kept chasing after him. This is the immortal soldier Qin Feng personally helped to build. This situation has never happened before. Qin Wen has always been very precious. At this time, he must hurry to catch up. When he arrived in the village, he realized that Qin Wen's sword was not the only one flying out. Qin Zu's child mother sword, Qin Haoxu's Fangshai and Huaji, and the weapons that were built in the hands of the clansmen have all been thrown out. Everyone, like Qin Wen, hurried to catch up. It's just that the flying speed of the weapon is very fast. Even if it is fully pursued, it can't catch up. Fortunately, someone has already seen that these weapons are not flying in the air without a purpose, but are heading towards the competition arena. Fortunately, Qin Feng set up a magical barrier in the entire village. Otherwise, he would not be surprised if the sight in front of him was seen by outsiders soon after. All kinds of weapons flew over the arena and flew back and forth. At this time, there was another humming like a dragon's roar. Immediately following, colorful rays of light flickered, and from the martial arts field, a splendid brilliance spread, followed by a long sword flying out. But the dragon roars in a trance, and at this moment, between the heaven and the earth, it seems that only the dragon roar of the long sword is left, and everything is silent. Those weapons that flew without warning were now surrounding the long sword, and it seemed that it gave people a feeling of worship. Qin Zu's eyes lit up, and she had already reacted. It must be a weapon forged by Xia Feng. Apart from Brother Feng, it is impossible for anyone else to forge such a long sword. Amazing. Worthy of being the sect master. The splendid brilliance continued to flicker. At this time, Qin Feng came slowly from the competition arena, and the whole person looked arrogant. He raised his fingertips together. Qin Feng exhaled and said, "Sword come." But the long sword in the sky came in response. Immediately following, there was a vast atmosphere, and the majestic energy continued to stir, surrounding Qin Feng one after another. The tyrannical strength is still skyrocketing, and those clansmen who cultivate immortals have a feeling of insignificance at this moment, knowing that the gap with Qin Feng is like a moat, out of reach. The vast breath continued to impact Qin Feng's body. Gradually, with Qin Feng as the center, the breath runs around the sky, breaking through the limit one after another. Qin Feng, who holds a long sword, is incomparably powerful. Originally, after the heavy rain stopped, the sun was shining brightly, but at this moment, there were suddenly dark clouds that kept condensing and looked down. Qin Wen and the others raised their heads, creating an illusion, as if they could reach the dark clouds in the sky when they reached out their hands, which made people's hearts depressed. Lightning and thunder roared constantly in the dark clouds. Qin Hongfu's face changed wildly, and he blurted out, "Since ancient times, whenever there is a magical weapon born, there will be a strange appearance from the sky. Is it possible that this is because the weapon forged by the sect master caused the supreme catastrophe?" The faces of the clansmen changed color, and seeing what happened in front of them, it really seemed like a catastrophe was about to occur. Qin Feng's voice sounded, "What about the calamity? Take this calamity sacrificial sword." The moment the voice fell, Qin Feng stepped forward. With a stomping, the mountain shook in a trance. "Open it for me." Breathing out loudly, even if it is more powerful than the thunder and lightning in the dark clouds, the momentum is even greater. The sword key went up and down for 30,000 miles, piercing the sky. Crack. The Clan cultivators couldn't tell whether the earth-shattering sound was a thunderbolt in the dark clouds or the turbulent sound of the longsword's power erupting. The next moment, at a speed visible to the naked eye, the dark clouds in the sky dissipated one after another. If they hadn't seen it with their own eyes and experienced it with their own eyes, everyone would not have believed that the dense dark clouds would be scattered by Qin Feng's sword. At this moment, Qin Feng has left the category of cultivating immortals and is the only true god between heaven and earth. But the sword energy is vertical and horizontal, and the dragon's roar is constant. The vast aura once again condensed into Qin Feng's body, and the whole momentum skyrocketed wildly. The clansman used to admire Qin Feng. At this time, after feeling Qin Feng's peak momentum, he gave people an urge to throw himself on the ground. In the center of the 10,000 people, glory blooms. Only Qin Feng raises his head, and the others bow their heads subconsciously to show respect. The peak momentum finally began to slow down. When everyone looked at Qin Feng again, it was no longer that unfathomable feeling. Qin Feng was as thick as a mountain. When he smiled, the spring breeze blew his face, and his face changed, like the peak of the sky and the earth cracking. Strength can hit in an instant and destroy everything. Ding. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the Dragon Yuan sword. Congratulations to the host for becoming an emperor. And congratulations to the host for obtaining the 36 swords of slaughter god. Qin Feng's expression did not change, and he thought to himself that he had worked hard, and the heavens would live up to it, and finally achieved enlightenment, and became an emperor before the end of the world. Many clan cultivators were a little in awe at first, and then they all became happy in their hearts. After all, Qin Feng is their suzerain, the patriarch. The stronger Qin Feng's strength, the more confident they will be. Qin Hongfu was the first to speak excitedly. Congratulations, Sect Master, Hexi Sect Master. The other clansmen followed suit. Congratulations, Sect Master, Hexi Sect Master. Qin Feng smiled, and it really gave people a feeling of spring breeze. Everyone, you're welcome. Instead, you were unintentionally disturbed and didn't cause you any trouble, right? How come? We are fortunate enough to see the sect master forging the magic weapon, and we are very happy. Yes, such a scene. Even the weapons in our hands came spontaneously without warning. How could we miss it? Everyone once again expressed their congratulations. Qin Feng put away the Imperial Soldier long iron sword. It was only at this moment that the weapons of the clan cultivators fell down and returned to their masters. As early as a few years ago, I told everyone that the end of the world is coming. I hope that in the next few days, you can go all out and break through your own limits again, so that you can survive the disaster of the apocalypse. Turn the tide. Yes. Everyone responded loudly, because Qin Feng just showed a peerless demeanor, and they were excited. Everyone was doing their best to break through the limit. In the final analysis, everyone had taken Qin Feng as a role model, and they all wanted to point one day he will be able to reach Qin Feng's current strength. Qin Feng breathed out silently, thinking to himself, the doomsday is coming, and it is extremely dangerous. From this moment, I'm ready, so let's divide the victory and the defeat, and also the life and death. Chapter 63. The first person to fight. Days are always inadvertently, like sand slipping with your fingertips, slipping away quietly. No matter how much you stop it, you can't stop it. Night falls on the quiet fairy village. From 3 days ago, Dukao village has temporarily declined tourists. Everyone knows in their hearts that the end will come tomorrow. For those who don't know, this evening is like an ordinary day, after normal work, eating, chatting, and living your own life. On the contrary, for the immortal cultivators of the Dukao village, the feeling is too different. Because I know what day tomorrow is, how can I easily calm down? Perhaps in the past, there were still people who wondered whether the end would come. After Dan became a cultivator, his trust in Qin Feng increased greatly. With the follow-up things Qin Feng did, the clansmen had absolutely nothing to do with Qin Feng. Doubt, sect, master, the end is coming tomorrow, and everyone can't sleep. In the competition arena, all the immortal cultivators from the clan came. Qin Feng was in the crowd, and his expression was still the iconic calm. Smiling, Qin Feng said slowly, what should come will always come, and it's useless to tangle again. Are you afraid? Would you like to hug? kiss, and comfort me? The crowd suddenly burst into laughter, and the atmosphere was much more relaxed. Brother Feng, I'm afraid I won't be afraid. I just think, I don't know what will happen in the end. To be honest, I am still a little excited. The end is coming. Isn't it time for our clan to show their talents? Yes, our Qin family will surely last forever. Yeah, I can't wait to have a fight. Your words, my words. Everyone really seems very excited. Qin Feng waved his hand and everyone stopped talking. This is Qin Feng's absolute prestige in the family. In terms of mentality, it's not bad, but I'm going to pour cold water on you. Remember what I said, I'm taking the path of cultivating immortals, cultivating magic slaughtering skills, and what I really have to face is life and death. I can tell you in person in charge that I have felt, or in other words, I have seen the tragic situation of the apocalypse with my own eyes. There are many crises. When you face any danger, you must play your heart out. Forget, even if you are an immortal, you only have one life. The faces of the clansmen became solemn. Follow the patriarch's teachings. Qin Wen couldn't help but asked curiously, Brother Feng, do we do nothing before this? There's nothing you can do, so you should recharge your batteries. I'll put my words in front of you. The end is coming. The brave one who fights, I will personally promote him as an elder above the elders. There are the 4 special envoys at that time. It will depend on your respective performances. Everyone immediately became excited. Everyone has a strong sense of belonging to Feng Kingman. Under such circumstances, who does not want to take their identity to a higher level? But, Brother Feng, you can see my performance then. Qin Wen seemed very excited tonight. Qin Hongfu said at this time, Sect Master, at the beginning we planned the clan competition, but it was postponed again and again, because of various things. As a result, it has not been carried out until now. Most of the time, we are each in the competition field. I still remember what you said at the beginning. There will be lucky winners in the clan competition. This time, in addition to the 4 special envoys, there is also the opportunity to become an elder. I believe you have other rewards, right? The clan members were all excited and felt that Qin Hongfu always liked to flatter him, but what he said today was loved by everyone. Who doesn't know that the things that the sect master casually took out were precious? Qin Hongfu is tantamount to benefiting the entire clan. Qin Feng smiled and said, since the 4th uncle has spoken, then according to what I said at the beginning, those with outstanding performance will have the opportunity to practice with me. Everyone, please work hard. Haha, that's great. I've been looking forward to this opportunity for a long time. I must show off my skills. Cultivation. With the sect master, this kind of opportunity, who will give up to me? Okay, it's getting late. Everyone, let's go and practice. Tomorrow is destined to be an uneasy day. Yes, sect master. After everyone responded, they began to disperse. In the end, the remaining sister is still studying diligently. Sister, why aren't you leaving? Is there something wrong? As expected of my brother, of course there is something wrong. Smiling, Qin Feng said, just say something. After Qin Zhu became an immortal cultivator, her temperament became more and more dusty and bright, and at this moment, her expression rarely became serious. Feng, when there is danger tomorrow and the tribe needs to take action, I hope you allow me to be the first to fight. Qin Feng was stunned for a moment, but he didn't expect his sister to come to fight him. Sister, no need. Tomorrow, Feng, I know what you want to say, but when there is danger tomorrow, as the biggest backing of the clan, it is impossible for you to rush to the front. At this time, you need someone to fight the first battle and give the clan confidence. I'm your own sister. At this time, I should be the first to take action, right? Qin Feng looked at his sister and fell silent. No matter who knows, the first person to take action will definitely face greater danger, and maybe he will become cannon fodder. Sister Qinzu's strength has improved a lot recently, and she has reached the peak of dragon transformation. Qin Feng is still very relieved. Taking a deep breath, Qin Feng finally nodded. My elder sister said so how could I refuse? Here, I will first wish my elder sister a victory, and show the prestige of my Qin family. Sect Master, don't worry, you will live up to your trust. In my impression, it was the first time that my sister Kinzu called her suzerain. To put it bluntly, it was already very formal, like issuing a military order. Qin Feng smiled and didn't say anything more. He wasn't particularly worried that his sister was in danger. After all, with Qin Feng's current strength, if there was an accident, there was a high probability that he would be able to arrive in time. Since my sister has this mind, it has to be fulfilled. By the way, there is one more thing. Haven't you contacted Yan Xiao recently? Why don't you tell her about tomorrow? Qin Feng thought for a while and finally waved his hand. Sister, everyone has their own life and everyone's good fortune. There is no need to worry about it. I believe that she will be fine, so there is no need to say anything in advance. Qin Zhu didn't know that Yan Xiao had become an immortal cultivator, and she was still a little worried in her heart. That was the younger sister-in-law she was optimistic about. As a result, her younger brother was so unconcerned, it was really a headache. Chapter 64. It's finally here. In the United States, the bustling streets of Luotian Prefecture are full of traffic and people come and go. The sky is a little gloomy, and the pedestrians on the road can't notice anything unusual. If they have to say it, they may just feel a little more depressed than usual. Most people are still living in their original rhythm. Several people laughed and chatted loudly, walking forward, preparing to go to the arena to watch the basketball game. Children on the road play happily. Without warning, in the west direction of the sky, a strange sound of rumble sounded. Many people looked up in surprise, wondering in their hearts, wouldn't there be thunder? In the current month, there will be no thunderstorm. What is going on? The sky became densely covered with dark clouds, sinking one after another, and among those high-rise buildings, lights were constantly turned on. Oh, hell. Looking at the dark clouds are already on the roof. What the hell is the weather? The weather this year seems to be very abnormal. It's that thunder. Oh god, look, what's going on over there? Gradually, the eyes of countless people focused on the west direction. The dark clouds there began to circulate continuously, as if a vortex of clouds had formed, and the speed was getting faster and faster, giving people a feeling of extreme depression. Boom, click, a shocking disparity came, and a blood red light bloomed in the center of the vortex. The gust of wind erupted from the vortex, and many people who were picking up were blown to the side. Crack. A big tree was cut in half by the force of the wind, the leaves were flying, and more exclamations and curses sounded. No one would feel happy in this kind of ghost weather. Unexpectedly, after the strong wind, there is a strong absorption force, and the sound is produced from the vortex of the sea of clouds. Gosh, what happened? Oh god, I must have read it wrong. The people in the distance did not have any obvious abnormal feeling, but at the position directly below the vortex of the sea of clouds, there was a car being swept into the air by the strong wind and the tyrannical absorption force. Cowardly people don't dare to look anymore. The next moment, time seemed to stop suddenly. The vehicle that was swept into the air stopped for a while and then fell straight down. Crack. There was a huge sound, and people's ears couldn't help but hear a humming sound. The blood red light suddenly exploded, and a crack appeared in the vortex, and from this moment on, the energy of another world penetrated all comfort, and it had a real connection with this world. Ahum. The strange sound came, and the force of absorption has become the force of reverse impact. Boom. The high-rise buildings directly under the vortex were completely unable to withstand the terrifying impact, and collapsed one after another. Everyone had an incredible look on their faces, and meaningless screams came from their mouths. What happened? Who am I? Where am I? What should I say? The confused state is very similar. Even more incredible things continued to happen. In the cracks, there are countless strange giant beasts 1 or 2 meters high, like lizards. The green light of the barbarian gods fell to the ground one after another, and the speed was amazing, and they rushed in all directions. No matter how good the special effects are, it can't reach the current level, and everyone's faces change wildly. Ow. A strange roar resounded in the sky, and those monsters rushed into the crowd and started to slaughter without any hesitation. The tall man, before he could react, saw a bloodbath coming from his mouth. Crack. The sound of broken bones makes people feel sore. He was a good person just a moment ago, but now, his head was directly bitten off by the monster and swallowed. Blood shot up from the neck and sprayed out to a height of more than 1 meter, which looked extremely terrifying. Ah, God, run for your life. The son of Satan must be awakened. I don't want to die. God, save me. The cries continued to sound, and the terrified crowd ran around like headless flies. Unfortunately, in front of those terrifying monsters, human speed is at an absolute disadvantage. Crunch. Some people were bitten by the waist while running, and blood splashed like a purgatory on earth. Uncle Death is crazy. In a short period of time, countless people's lives have been harvested. Those brutal monsters continue to scatter in all directions. It seems that they only know how to kill and destroy everything. Boom. The sea of clouds in the sky made a loud noise again. This time, there were even taller, lizard-like hairless monsters, some of which were over 5 or 6 meters, and looked like small hills. Although the size is huge, the speed is not affected at all. Facing the sky, facing the crowd, it made a strange roar, followed by a frantic impact. My God, some people were swallowed whole by the huge monster before them finished speaking. They could clearly hear the chewing sound, and saw the blood flowing out of the monster's ugly mouth. The bottom line of human tolerance: run, run, run. For your life, run for your life. God, save us children who are suffering. Help, help. They kept running away, and some people were so scared that they forgot to escape. Boom. Countless beasts, monsters, madly attacked. When they passed through the crowd, they were either swallowed up one after another, bitten into slag, or they were directly trampled and stepped into patties. No one had ever experienced such a terrifying sight. Many people were scared to collapse and cried. Boom. Click. The surrounding high-rise buildings could not withstand the impact of more and more monsters and kept collapsing, each time representing the passing of some fresh life. At this moment, the alarm finally sounded. A large number of police officers showed up with weapons. From the crowd, who had already been desperate and only cried helplessly, cheers could be heard unconsciously. It's saved. We are finally saved. Kill those demons. Kill them. Help, help. Accompanied by various shouts, gunshots erupted. Then, something unexpected happened. After those bullets hit the monsters, it was like a tickling, unable to cause any substantial damage at all, but completely angered those monsters. A strange roar came out of his mouth, and he rushed towards the police officers like lightning. God, how is this possible? It's over. It's over. It's over. The police emergency personnel who arrived did not have time to retreat at all. Countless monsters rushed over. The police cars shattered one after another, and some were even lifted up by huge monsters and smashed into the crowd. The blood spattered wildly, and the casualties of personnel were completely out of control. The hope that had just been ignited began to annihilate in an instant, and everyone's faces were full of horror. Chapter 65. Is there still hope? Those monsters that kept pounding from the cracks were raging wildly. Afterwards, a large number of fighter jets began to take off. On the bustling streets, for the first time, rumbling tanks were urgently dispatched to support. Countless ammo began to pour into those monsters. However, it still can't hurt the slightest. It will only stimulate all the anger of the alien beast. Ow. A strange roar resounded through the sky. A gigantic beast rushed to the top of the building and then slammed into the air with its super ejection ability. Oh God, be careful, be careful. The fighters on the fighter had just issued a warning. Click. The glass shattered and blood splashed. The uncontrolled plane fell downwards. Boom. High rise buildings were hit and damaged one after another, and then fell heavily to the ground. Boom. The explosion sounded, and a thick cloud of smoke filled the fire. The fighter plane was completely damaged. What people didn't expect was that the alien beast stood up again from the fireworks, roaring in the sky, and still did not suffer any damage. The defensive ability is extremely terrifying, making people desperate. Boom, boom. The tank started firing shells and rushed towards the monster fearlessly. Under normal circumstances, without anti-tank equipment, there would be no danger. Unfortunately, after all, the combat power of these alien beasts was underestimated. Now, in the sky, there was a strange roar that shook the sky. Immediately, hundreds of alien beasts, more than 10 meters tall, crashed down, rushed to the tank, and began to attack with all their strength. Crack, crack. the unbelievable thing finally happened. Those tanks, like children's toys, were damaged one after another, and they were even thrown out by those alien beasts and smashed into high-rise buildings. Many people have become hoarse in shouting because of panic. Get out, get out. The commanding officer kept giving orders to protect the civilians to evacuate. However, after seeing the terrifying combat power of the alien beasts, the fighters who came later were already on the verge of collapse and even forgot their responsibilities, and some began to flee. After all, there is only one life, and in the face of catastrophe, human nature is often the most unable to withstand the test. I need support. Lewisham House found a large-scale invasion of alien beasts. The end is coming, and I need support. Fighters, tanks, can't threaten those alien beasts at all. I now suspect that all existing conventional weapons cannot effectively kill alien beasts at all. I need support and need to make the fastest decision, when necessary. I apply to attack alien beasts with nuclear missiles. Captain, are you crazy? There are still civilians here. Once weapons of mass destruction are used, do you know the consequences? Then please tell me, is there a better way now? The other side of the satellite phone was instantly speechless. The slaughter of alien beasts is still going on frantically. There are screaming crowds everywhere, blood splashes, and the smell of blood permeates the sky above the bustling city point. All have felt genuine despair at this time. More than a dozen people dressed in exquisite combat uniforms and threw themselves into the battlefield. Everyone retreats, and the battle here is handed over to us. Everyone retreat in an orderly manner. With the constant shouting, more than a dozen people rushed into the battlefield. James, kill all these beasts, kill them all. William, charge, charge. The people in Lewisham Mansion became more and more surprised. The more than 10 people who came here were astonishingly fast without any external force, like flying at a low altitude. But there was the turbulent sound of cold weapons, and more than a dozen people rushed to the alien beasts and attacked with the weapons in their hands. God, does this really work? Aren't they sending death? Run for your life. With the screeching shouts, shoot. Unexpectedly, after the alien beast was attacked, a light green liquid sputtered out. It seems that the blood of the alien beast is not the same. The morning began to sound, and facing the attack of the hot weapon, the unscathed beasts were killed one after another. Oh God, what did I see? This is our beautiful country, and whenever there is danger, there will be heroes. Yes, they are real superheroes, and we are saved. Superhero. In Western countries, there are already extraordinary people. Over the years, I have been trying to trace Qin Feng, but unfortunately, I have not found any useful clues at all. After the alien beasts ravaged, these people arrived and shot frantically. William, the alien beast just looks terrible, but in fact, it's weak. It's just a group of beasts. We are extraordinary. Oh, according to their cries, we are superheroes now. Kill all these beasts. More than 10 people with extraordinary fighting spirit. At this moment, the vortex in the sea of clouds once again had a burst-like sound. Now, the strange sound that already sounded familiar resounded between the heavens and the earth again. At the center of the vortex, a blood red was first seen. After a few minutes closer, I was shocked to find that it turned out to be a surprisingly large mouth, as if it bit the sky, and appeared here. With an incomparably huge body. Those high-rise buildings are a little small in comparison. The fangs looked extremely terrifying, and as soon as they appeared, they were devouring them frantically. Whether it was crowds or trees, it seemed that they had become food for monsters. William, here comes a big guy. Don't worry, everyone listens to my order and attacks together to destroy this big guy. Dash forward. More than a dozen rushed towards the huge alien beast. At this time, the alien beast suddenly opened its mouth, and the power fluctuation seemed to be substantial. Boom. The high-rise buildings kept falling down, and the tyrannical energy shock wave caused the 3 impacting team members to fall backwards and fly out before they could react. William, something is wrong. This guy is too powerful. Be careful. As soon as William's voice fell, one of the transcendent team members was swallowed by a bloodbath before he could react. At this moment, just like those ordinary people, there is absolutely no way to fight back. The huge alien beast is still amazing charging, and the speed is. Half of the transcendent personnel were swept out without reacting, and the people were in the air, blood spurting wildly, and the loss was extremely in the eyes. William's face became extremely grim, and he had been preparing to deal with the danger after the Doomsday Generals. He didn't expect that when it really came, the extraordinary team members he led were completely vulnerable. The crowd, who had already cheered, suddenly panicked again. It's so disappointing. I thought it was a superhero who appeared and would save them. Who knows, he was only handsome for 3 seconds. Chapter 66 Bloody Rampage. The hot weapon that was once proud of, in front of alien beasts, is not even as good as a fire stick. I thought that the appearance of superheroes could save the situation, but now, it is more like a joke. Now, there is almost no better way. William gritted his teeth and reported by satellite phone, the level of terror of alien beasts is too much beyond our expectations. I suggest using nuclear missiles to attack. Crazy. This is crazy. You know what that would be like. Is there a better way? Otherwise, we can only see alien beasts raging. We will consider your suggestion. After hanging up the phone, William was also very helpless. Now, apart from evacuating, there is not much he can do. He can't let the members of the elite team lose all here. At the same time, Washington, the capital of the United States, has appeared out of Phase Point. The Sea of Clouds swirled. This time the alien beast appeared faster, and the attack power was stronger. The screams of countless people were surging. The blood splashed one after another, and the number of casualties could no longer be counted in a short period of time. Activate the nuclear bomb system. Is this really necessary? There are still civilians who have not been evacuated. If anything goes wrong, I will take responsibility and let the alien beasts rage on, and the consequences will only make people more unacceptable. Soon, a fighter jet carrying nuclear missiles rushed to Lewisham. 3, 2, 1, launch. Report. Sir, the missile will reach Lewisham in 1 minute. It's hard work. Closer team. The countdown has begun, and tragic massacres are still taking place on the once prosperous streets. Now, the huge alien beast seemed to feel something. What people didn't expect was that even if the body was huge, the entire ejection ability was extremely amazing. Before most people could react, they had already rushed into the air. A huge black shadow obscures the sky above, making people extremely desperate. Immediately afterwards, the moment the missile hit, the alien beast opened its bloody mouth. Most people don't know what's going on. In fact, they have been abandoned. Once the extremely destructive weapon explodes, even if the alien beast is killed, then they will never have a chance to survive. The development of things is completely beyond imagination. I thought that the huge alien beast would explode. Don't forget, that was the last whole card. As a result, even the explosion could not be achieved, and it was so peaceful. The military personnel who have been monitoring the situation here are completely stunned, covering their foreheads. Their eyes are full of incredible. Oh god, it must not be true. It must not be true. Countless people are puzzled. How did the alien beast grow up without even giving it a chance to explode? How to play then? At this moment, not only those who were slaughtered by alien beasts, but all those who knew the inside story were desperate. The end. The real end. When alien beasts ravaged the United States, other countries were already under attack. Over the Fushi Mountain in the Japanese country, there is a strange sea of clouds whirlpool. The eyes were blood red, like 2 huge signal lights, followed by countless gluttonous beasts similar to the legend, rushing in, blood, screams, and helpless shouts, flooding the city. Bangzi country, Asen's capital, and Sunset country have all suffered from the ravages of alien beasts to varying degrees. Helpless cries indicate that in the end, it seems that no one can survive the disaster. At this time, in China's Jiangnan province, Ganchuan city, there were black clouds condensed in the sky, the wind was raging, and the sky and the earth were slaughtered. Some people also took out their mobile phones and clicked on the live broadcast software. Old irons. There is a vision from the sky, which great god is going to transcend the calamity. I'm going. 666. Is it the disciples and grandchildren of this old man who are going through the calamity? The anchor hasn't hurried to go home to collect the clothes. I'm in the mute to live broadcast here. What the hell is the weather? The live broadcast room was still very lively, and a huge rumbling sound began to sound. Following that, the speed of the Sea of Clouds vortex continued to accelerate. Almost like a repeat of history. Cracks appeared, followed by countless strange shaped beasts. The body is huge. It looks a bit like a cyan giant lion, with a single horn between the eyebrows, and it is a bit similar to the legendary Pixiu, and the huge eyes are full of fierce brilliance. The man who was still live streaming turned pale with fright. Grass, I'm definitely dreaming. The next moment, the screams have been constantly sounding. High-rise buildings began to collapse, alien beasts attacked, and some people couldn't escape in time, and they were instantly knocked down and bitten, and in a blink of an eye, there were no bones left. The smell of blood filled the air, and the terrifying fighting filled every corner. A 3 or 4-year-old child with a lollipop in his hand, the look in his eyes, is very clean and innocent. When the alien beast rushed over, the child did not know that he was in danger at all. He was very curious and murmured, "Big horse, ride a big horse." Anyone who sees the scene in front of them will feel both terrifying and sad. Under normal circumstances, no one dares to rush over. The mother of the child is not far from the side. The girl is weak, but the mother is strong. Although his face was pale with fright, he subconsciously picked up the stool and rushed here. "Don't touch my child. Don't touch my child." The strange beast tilted its head, as if it was extremely annoyed, because the child was not afraid. Now, after a terrifying roar, he swallowed the child in front of him. The child's mother rushed over desperately, but only had time to grab the corner of the child's clothes. "What?" A shrill cry sounded, and the child's mother looked at the beast with cold eyes. "Give back my child. Return my child." The stool slammed into the beast, but unfortunately, it shattered immediately. Ow! An angry roar sounded. The child's mother was then swallowed, and blood flowed from the corner of the beast's mouth, dripping on the street. The peaceful life was completely broken, and the fireworks in the world seemed to turn into the coldness of purgatory in a blink of an eye. Gangchun City was attacked by unknown creatures, and the nearest troops assembled immediately. Initiate Level 1 emergency response. People's property safety is being harmed, and protect people's lives and property at all costs. Police personnel, in conjunction with local forces, have begun fighting the beast. It's a pity that hot weapons and firearms are so powerless in front of alien beasts. Saying that they are burning fire sticks may be an insult to burning fire sticks. The number of casualties continued to rise, and everyone fell into great despair. In this case, there are still people who are desperately broadcasting, live there for the sake of popularity. Old irons, I'm risking my death to live broadcast, and a strange beast is coming. I have seen many people die. Doomsday, this is the legendary Doomsday. Old irons, family, tell me what to do. I haven't married a wife yet. I don't want to die. Wait online, I'm in a hurry. Chapter 67. Who is retrograde? The anchor can do it. Special effects. Thief 6. I almost believed it. Isn't it so easy to deceive? Hahaha. The anchor performed very hard, and the little face is really in place. Most of the barrage was completely unbelievable. At this time, other comments were sent out one after another. It's true, there have been reports abroad that alien beasts are rampant. The troops have been assembled and rushed to Gangchuan City. Anchor pays attention to safety. It's horrible. What's going on? The news has started to spread one after another, and now finally believes that everyone, that things that they once dared not even dream of are actually happening. The civilians in Gangchuan City are evacuating backwards one after another. At this time, it is completely unrealistic to count on vehicles. They are directly blocked on the road. There is a special team, which is protecting a group of students and teachers from retreating to safety. At this time, there was a sound of ow, followed by countless alien beasts rushing towards this side. All are there, ready to fight. Da. The gunshot sounded, but it couldn't cause any damage at all. That is, it could slightly block the speed of the alien beast's impact. The special forces cannot retreat, because behind them are the helpless students. Some students are already crying because of fear. Don't cry. Don't cry. The teacher is here and protecting us. The young female teacher Sun Kan continued to comfort the students. But in her heart, she was already desperate, knowing that under such circumstances, she could still survive. It was an extravagant hope. B*********D. I have fought with these beasts, seeing that the firearms could not stop those alien beasts from charging. Some special forces team members rushed up with grenades in their flesh and blood. Boom. The explosion sounded, and the dust flew up. It's a pity that those exotic animals have thick skins and are born with unimaginable defensive capabilities, causing no damage at all. Call for support. Team 771 was ordered to protect the students to evacuate, and now encounters the impact of alien beasts and suffers heavy losses and needs support. Helicopters, the humming of fighter jets cut through the sky, and they have come here to support them at high speed. An alarm sounded in the city. After the first level emergency response was activated, the fire trucks and all the guards all set off and ran to every corner of the city, using their flesh and blood to delay the impact of those beasts as much as possible. The casualties of the special forces were extremely heavy, but no one left, all on the way to charge. Captain, you can go as far as you can with the students. Leave the rest to the brothers. Give us a team and leave some seeds. We can't all be here. The look on the Captain Liu, whose face was remarkably determined. Listen to my order. You protect the students and go. Perhaps our generation has been unable to find a way to contend with alien beasts, so try to ensure the safety of the next generation as much as possible and leave hope. You don't need to worry about whether the team is here or not. You should protect the students to evacuate first. Remember, as long as there is one person alive, the students are not allowed to have an accident. The few remaining team members looked anxious. Captain, let's stay. You go. Captain, don't say anything. Put all the grenades in my hands, and you will get in the car immediately. This is an order. When the members of the special team were deciding between life and death, those who had not yet been affected kept trying to escape, and it continued to become slightly chaotic point at this time. I saw a slender figure coming from the north and moving forward at a high speed. My grass, what is that? I must be dazzled. Someone is flying. She's retrograde. Everyone is fleeing in the direction away from the alien beasts. Only the slender figure, fearless, hurries backwards. Yes, is it with some modern aircraft? If you're not blind, you can see clearly. She didn't bring anything. Is someone really flying? The expressions on everyone's faces were extremely surprised, and then someone blurted out, I suddenly remembered that a few years ago, someone took a picture of flying in the sky on the internet, saying that they met an immortal cultivator. At that time, they said it was a special effect or a composite video. It seems this is true. I am Dahuaksha, hidden dragon, crouching tiger, and there are really immortal practitioners. You can pull it down. You haven't seen how fierce those alien beasts are. Firearms and bombs can't kill those alien beasts. What immortal cultivators are relying on? Let's go to the spring and autumn dream and hurry up and escape. Although they were constantly discussing, those people were still running away. They hardly cared much about the retrograde figure. Some people even thought about running for their lives, not knowing what happened. At the same time, the hum of fighter jets cut through the sky. Boom, boom. The sound of machine gun fire and bomb explosions continued to sound. The follow-up personnel are doing their best to support the operations of the special team. Unfortunately, it hardly works. Bow. A roar that shook the world sounded, and a huge alien beast emerged from the sea of clouds at an astonishing speed. The fighter jets that were too close were crushed by the force of the impact before they could react. Then, other fighters were attacked by alien beasts and fell uncontrollably, and the sound of emergency orders could be heard. Skydive. Skydive now. Tower. I can't skydive anymore. I have to keep the plane away from the crowd. The pilot forcibly adjusted the direction of the plane and finally got away from the crowd, who were still fleeing behind. Boom. The explosion sounded, accompanied by thick smoke and fire. Bow. Countless alien beasts roared, as if they were demonstrating, declaring that they would take over the city and reap human lives arbitrarily. B*******D. I fought with you guys. Liu. who, the captain of the special team, had already banned all the grenades and bombs and marched forward to meet those strange beasts. Do not seek to cause any effective damage. Until now, Liu Hu knows better than anyone that it is impossible to kill alien beasts with ease. The only thing he wants to do is to use the shockwave of the explosion to forcibly delay those aliens. The impact speed of the beast can win precious time for the subsequent evacuation of the students. Team leader, the remaining few team members had tears in their eyes, but they could only helplessly protect those students and retreated back, knowing that the captain had no hope of surviving. At this moment, a cold female voice sounded, back, don't make fearless sacrifices. Here, leave it to me. Everyone was a little stunned. Didn't they hear it wrong? Now this is the purgatory on earth, and there are still people who dare to speak out, saying that everything is left to her, that they have drunk too much, or are crazy. Point as the voice fell, followed by a choking sound. The sharp sword was unsheathed, and the sword energy instantly began to traverse. Chapter 68 Sword Key is unstoppable. Liu Hu was stunned. He was ready to sacrifice himself, but a slim figure suddenly rushed in front of him. Almost instinctively, Liu Hu blurted out, "Girl, danger, come back quickly." So much so that Liu Hu never imagined that the slender figure at this time was walking against the wind. Not ordinary, come and die. The person who came was naturally Qin. Just last night, Qin was the first to fight. When he heard that Gangchuan city was attacked by alien beasts, Qin rushed over at full speed. Qin Wen wanted to be the first to take action, but after all, he never fought Qin and was still sulking in the village. Qin held the child and mother sword, and there was no fear on her pretty face, and she charged towards those strange beasts. Liu Hu was stunned. In fact, those alien beasts were also a little stunned. Is the extra long enough to be scary enough, or the extra long enough? Even if you don't run away, you dare to take the initiative to rush up. Following that, those alien beasts seemed to have been greatly provoked, and they roared violently and charged towards Qin fiercely. Whirlwind. Qin's clothes were fluttering, and around her body, there were vast wind blades condensed, accompanied by the sweeping of the long sword. Those wind blades echoed with the sword energy. Chi-chi-chi. The crisp sound kept coming, causing Liu Hu and those students to never expect something to happen. The alien beasts, that can't be hurt by guns and bombs, let out a wailing under the vertical and sword energy. The ink-colored liquid splashed out, obviously belonging to the unique blood of those alien beasts. Qin killed 3 alien beasts in a row with one sword. Since the vision of the sky and the emergence of alien beasts all over the world, this can be said to be the first time that alien beasts have suffered extremely heavy losses. Now, the roar was frantically agitated, and seeing the companions being killed, those alien beasts were completely provoked, and they almost went crazy. More and more alien beasts gave up to pursue in other directions, but instead came to Qin's side. On the pretty face, with a calm expression, Qin said slowly, "It came just right." The figure kept moving forward at a high speed, and when the wrist was turned, the swords of the immortal soldiers and the mother were constantly stirred. Chi-chi-chi. Under the vertical and horizontal sword energy, it is unstoppable. Originally, Liu Hu and others were all sweating for Qin in their hearts, but at this time, the expression on their faces became extremely excited. Qin moved forward all the way. Those large and small, extremely ferocious beasts were beheaded one after another, and scattered to both sides. It gave people the feeling that it was like a path of waves from the raging sea. Incomparably ferocious, like a beast that despises everything. Qin killed it at this moment, like chopping melons and vegetables. The Feng Shu turns. Who would have thought that the alien beast, which was just invincible just now, would become what it is now? A student raised his face and blurted out, "Teacher, is that a fairy?" Sun Qian was stunned and was shocked. After pondering, Sun Qian nodded. "Yes, she must be a fairy who saves suffering. We don't have to be afraid. The fairy is here to save us." "Great, Sister Fairy has come to save us." The children were still very frightened just now, but at this time, some of them had already jumped and applauded, and their faces were full of joy. Several Special Forces members were stunned. After a while, someone remembered their dead companion. Their eyes were a little red, and they gritted their teeth and roared, "Fairy, kill all these beasts." Yes, all these beasts must be killed. Kinzu turned a deaf ear to the surrounding voices, but kept shooting and killing those alien beasts. Death to me. During the anger, Kinzu suddenly drew out his sword, but the longsword hummed like a phoenix mingling for 9 days. Laugh. The moment it was stabbed, the longsword in Kinzu's hand seemed to suddenly skyrocket. The huge alien beast on the left was pierced through the neck by the longsword before it could react, and the dark green blood after the longsword pierced the alien beast, and even pierced into the building behind the alien beast, which is enough to show how powerful this sword is. When Qin Feng was building weapons, it was a child mother sword for his sister. It looks like a long sword, but the length can be adjusted arbitrarily to a certain extent, just like a long sword accompanied by a short sword. Don't suffer a big loss, let alone these alien beasts. Kinzu is here. All the beasts, come up and die. Flipping her wrists, Kinzu shook off the alien blood on the B***ch and stood proudly, as if between heaven and earth, there is no existence that this slender figure would be afraid of. Sister. Pharaoh's name is Kinzu. Kinzu. Not only those students, but also Liu and the rest of the Special Forces team members subconsciously repeated it. For this name, it will never be forgotten in this life. Destroy. As Kinzu exhaled again, with her body as the center, countless sword ki surged out, accompanied by majestic wind blades. Sword shadows danced. The screams of alien beasts kept ringing. He could only see the front, covered with the corpses of alien beasts, but Kinzu was unharmed. Shaking the mother sword again, Kinzu even felt that it was not enough. Those alien beasts looked fierce, but they didn't have any pressure to kill them. Seeing Kinzu showing off his mighty power one after another, the members of the special team asked uncertainly, "Captain, what should we do now?" After pondering for a while, Liu said, "Zio-Kyan and Zio-Li, the two of you are protecting the students from leaving. We stay. We can't let a girl die there, but we are deserters, looking for opportunities to provide help and support to the girl as much as possible." Understood, Captain. The two team members originally wanted to protect those students from leaving, but they never thought about it, and many students said, if we don't leave, we'll have to watch Sister Fairy kill monsters. With Sister Fairy here, we are definitely not in danger. That's right, we are not leaving. At this time, there was a humming sound that shook the heavens and the earth in the eerie and terrifying vortex of the sea of clouds in the sky. Immediately afterwards, the terrifying aura seemed to spread in an instant, making everyone's heart feel a little more depressed. Kinzu narrowed her eyes slightly, thinking to herself, it seems that a powerful alien beast will appear. This time, it won't be as boring as before. On the side of the sea of clouds, the humming sound continued to stir in the distance. The glass on the surrounding high-rise buildings kept clicking and shattering due to the humming sound. Kinzu's face changed slightly, but it wasn't because she was afraid. She would be fine, but as she kept getting closer, those students were definitely in danger. Suddenly turning around, Kinzu reminded, "You hurry up, it will be too late." If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelos. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69. I have a sword, which will last forever. After Kinzu reminded, Liu, the captain of the special operations team, knew that the situation was in crisis, and immediately shouted, "Quick, protect the students and go first, quick." The arranged two team members quickly took the students back. Originally, those students were so excited that they didn't want to leave, but now, Kinzu, who was like a fairy, spoke, and the students became very well behaved and hurriedly stepped back. Kinzu, who had a pretty face, looked very simple. Taking a deep breath, Kinzu rose against the wind, advancing instead of retreating, facing the danger ahead. She must give the students enough time to evacuate. Crack, crack. The glass on the tall buildings along the way kept shattering. Ow. With the earth-shattering roar, a giant beast with a height of 1 to 20 meters emerged from the vortex of the sea of clouds, suspended in the sky, opened its bloody mouth, and kept roaring like a demonstration. Indistinctly, you can see the fangs of the giant beast, which are more than 1 meter long. The natural sense of oppression makes the people near and far away feel depressed. The evacuated crowd can also see the behemoth in the sky. His face changed wildly, and he subconsciously felt despair at this time. A slender figure went upstream. Apart from Kinzu, there is no one else. Compared with the behemoth, Kinzu's figure seemed so small. Many people who were just running away and had no idea what was going on behind them felt that Kinzu must be crazy. At this time, how dare they go up and die? Ow. A strange roar resounded between the heavens and the earth. The giant beast felt offended, and the insignificant human dared to block here. The huge body moved forward in the wind, and the feeling of oppression was like the collapse of a mountain, and all the strength was pressed down in an instant. Kinzu sternly flashed her sword, and there were countless strong winds around her body. Cut. The sword energy is vertical and horizontal, and the sword light flashes. In the dark clouds, Kinzu's sword light, like the only light, with unyielding, angry, and vast aura, swept the giant beast with a bang. Boom. The tyrannical energy collided, making a substantial explosion sound. Those who escaped, although they were still afraid, they couldn't help but look back, wanting to know what happened. Grass is just one word. I only say it once. That's definitely a fairy. Absolutely. Am I not mistaken? Actually, it was blocked. Kinzu and the giant beast slammed into each other. One person and one beast, each stepping back. It seemed that they were evenly divided. You must know how incredible it is in the eyes of other people. That kind of oppressive feeling is not something that people can resist. But at this time, Kinzu still did not give up, and it seemed that he could really fight. How could people not be excited? She is a god. Fairy. Descends to earth. There must be hope. I have experienced many storms and waves in China for thousands of years. It is impossible to think like this. There is a fairy coming, and we still have hope. Kill that monster. Kill that monster. Although I never heard the pace of the evacuation, countless people began to scream in excitement. Fighters, helicopters are constantly circling in the sky. What's the situation? Is it a super soldier secretly trained by our country? I haven't heard of it. What should I do now? Everyone listens to my order. Don't open fire easily, so as not to accidentally hurt your own people. Provide support as much as possible. Please reply when you receive it. All fighter jets have received orders, and they have resumed receiving them. It's not that these people don't want to participate in the battle. The problem is that in the face of small monsters, the fighter jets have suffered heavy losses. Now, the behemoths are flying in the air, and the guns are completely useless. Maybe they will force Kinzu to participate in the battle. Just wait and see. Ow. The huge alien beast was completely angry, and being intercepted by Qin Feng was absolutely unacceptable. The speed suddenly soared to the extreme, and the whole rushed towards Kinzu. Break. Kinzu was still fearless and exhaled. The sword key was once again vertical and horizontal, and countless sword shadows swayed, cooperating with the wind blade, colliding with the peak of the giant beast. Dang dang dang. Boom, boom, in the air. Because of the duel between Kinzu and the giant beast, explosion-like sounds continued to sound. The giant beast couldn't help Kinzu, but in a short period of time, Kinzu had no way to kill the giant beast. The defensibility is too strong. Although Kinzu's child and mother swords are immortal soldiers built by Qin Feng, at this time, they can't break through the defense of the giant beast. But the roar became extremely sharp, and it felt like Qin Feng's neighing. After going out to sea, the dark clouds in the sky stirred, constantly forming new vortexes, and the gust of wind struck with an unparalleled sense of oppression. The big mouth of the blood basin has been opened. The fangs are extremely terrifying, and the speed of the giant beast is really fast, rushing to the peak like a torrent of steel, completely wrapping Kinzu. It's over. It's over. Fairy is in danger. That monster is too strong. What to do? What to do now? No. One thinks that under such tyrannical attacks, there are still people who can be safe and sound. Even if Kinzu has created miracles one after another, it is still difficult to be completely believed. Fire. Support. Fire. Liu, who took the remaining members of the special operations team and never left. At this time, after feeling that Kinzu was in danger, he decisively fired. Dang dang dang. The bullet hit the behemoth, like a tickling, and it couldn't even slow down the behemoth. Captain, what is she going to do? Fairy is going to die. Many people have already seen that Kinzu's slender figure, in midair at this time, seems to fall off, spinning extremely fast. The child and mother sword spun, and there was a phoenix wing-like sound. There was no way out. Kinzu dashed directly towards the giant beast's bloody mouth with immense strength. In the eyes of others, this was almost no different from suicide. Kinzu practiced the sword alone, and created this trick. Almost no clan members knew about it. It was only used once, when I was discussing with my younger brother Qin Feng. Qin Feng was a little silent after seeing it. He was strong and powerful, so he could see directly that this was almost a death-defying move. Remember, don't use this trick, unless you have to. No, my brother, this trick doesn't have a name yet. How about you think of one for my sister? After being silent for a while, Qin Feng of the day said slowly, it's better to call it Wangu Liafang. Okay, just call this name. I have a sword, and it will last forever. Both sisters and brothers actually understand that the meaning of the name. Even if a person dies, that kind of unyielding spirit will surely shock people's hearts, and will last forever. Chapter 70. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Kinzu rushed towards the behemoth. At this moment, Kinzu is the child mother sword, and the child mother sword is Kinzu, achieving the true unity of the human and the sword. Dark clouds covered the sky, and the roar of the behemoth was still resounding throughout the world. Those crowds, because of the dark clouds, basically couldn't see too much of the situation. They unconsciously thought in their hearts, it's over. That fairy-like woman was also swallowed by the giant beast, and there was no hope. I was thinking of this in my heart. Boom. There was a loud noise in the sky. Even if it was a thunderbolt, it was nothing more than that. Countless ink-colored liquids flew out, followed by the body of the behemoth, constantly bursting open, blood and flesh flying between the heavens and the earth, as if only that shadow was left, standing proudly. Everyone's mouths grew up unconsciously. Kinzu, unexpectedly, didn't die. What is even more unbelievable than this is that the giant beast was completely beheaded. Some network anchors are completely desperate for traffic, and they are still broadcasting. Live at this time. Old. Irons. Family. Win. The fairy 1-6 is one word. I only say it once. I'll give 100% to this wave, so I'm not afraid of fairy pride. That must be a super soldier that our country secretly cultivated just to deal with today's crisis situation. It's so amazing. I'm going to cry. My mother asked me why I was kneeling and looking at my phone, and I called my mother to come out and see the fairies. Family, the giant beast was killed. There are fairies. I'm in Gangchuan City. Huaxia is here. Click on a wave of attention, and don't get lost. The anchor will take you to continue to track everything that happens on the scene. Because of what happened today, many anchors have skyrocketed in the number of fans. Kinzu took a deep breath, her pretty face still determined. No matter what, he still won in the end, and at the moment of killing the giant beast, Kinzu could clearly feel that the flesh and blood of the giant beast had a good effect on improving the immortal cultivator. Faintly, the spiritual energy between heaven and earth seems to be a little more. In the end, although it is full of crisis, it seems that it is not without hope. Bow. Because the giant beast was killed, those small alien beasts kept wailing, becoming more ferocious and irritable. With me here, I can't tolerate you beasts running wild. Kinzu's clothes fluttered, and she rose up against the wind. Without a moment's rest, she began to madly kill those alien beasts. In addition to the evil, once a strange beast is not killed, then the follow-up will still cause huge trauma to the city. Without the backing of the giant beasts, those small alien beasts were no match for Kinzu at all, and for a while, it became a one-sided massacre. Liu and the members of the team looked at each other in shock. Sometimes, they couldn't help but have an illusion in their hearts. How could what happened in front of them be real? However, no matter how much they doubted life, everything Kinzu did really happened. Before and after half an hour, Kinzu slaughtered all the alien beasts that invaded Gangchuan City. Although there is no specific number, there should be tens of thousands. Kinzu was dressed in white, and there was no blood on her body. The temperament is dusty, proud and immediate, more like a fairy than a fairy. For a long time, people will only talk about fairies, but they have never seen what fairies look like. Now, as long as people who have seen Kinzu's appearance, they unconsciously think that the fairy must be like this, and they don't accept any refutation. Liu, who was so shocked, he quickly stepped forward and asked, "Miss Kinzu, where are you from?" To be honest, Liu, who now feels that this woman should only be found in the sky, how can I hear it in the world? Kinzu smiled indifferently, like flowers blooming. Without saying anything, Kinzu rose up in the wind and quickly disappeared from everyone's sight. The mysterious woman has left. Do you need to follow up? Ask for instructions. Some helicopters wanted to track Kinzu's trail point. Soon the command came. No one is to be disturbed. It is enough to know that she is not malicious. Everyone was silent and agreed with this statement point when Gangchuan City encountered a huge crisis. When everyone was helpless, Kinzu showed up to survive. Now, if you follow your strengths and annoy others, it will not be worth the loss. The network anchor was holding the mobile phone and originally thought of rushing to Kinzu's side. If he could grasp the first-hand information, he would definitely explode. The fairy is gone. The family can see it. It's not that I don't work hard. I have run with all my strength and use the power of the wild. The problem is that the fairy can fly. You and I can't catch up. F***K. The clothes and hide the merits and fame. I love it. I love it completely. Go away. The person who loves fairies the most is me, and from today onwards, I will be the dream lover of my life. The ones upstairs are really brave. Just you. Are you still thinking about fairies? There are so many toads. Courage is commendable, but in fact, it's like a fool. Does Liang Jingru give you the courage? Do you think fairies will like ordinary people? The comments were extremely lively. At the same time, more and more people began to take screenshots or record videos on the internet, spreading like crazy. For a while, the news of Kinzu's battle with strange beasts broke through the hot searches one after another. Leader, what happened today is too dangerous. Yeah, it's really dangerous, but then again, we are lucky. It is because of the appearance of that mysterious woman that the subsequent tragedies are prevented from happening. No need to hide anything. Just push the video with all your might to let everyone know. Even if I encounter a crisis, I, China, have hope and will not let those alien beasts rage. Clear. On the internet, news of alien invasion spread faster than important news was released one after another. All citizen cities in China have activated the first level emergency response. All relevant personnel will cancel their vacations and return to work as soon as possible. All citizens, for the safety of their lives and property, must obey the management and tide over the difficulties together. The news continued to spread, and there was still a sense of panic spreading. Of course, the matter about Kinzu has become a hot topic, and everyone wants to know who and where that mysterious woman came from. The last time was in Gangchuan City. If there is a danger of being attacked by alien beasts in other places, will that mysterious woman reappear to turn the tide and save the lives of countless people? In fact, not only the public is concerned, but some departments of Huaxia also want to inquire more about Kinzu through various channels. Chapter 71. The Return of the Alien Beast. Colleagues who were attacked by alien beasts in Gangchuan City. In fact, in Yanjiang City, there have also been aliens. The dark clouds in the sky continued to press down, and the wind gradually picked up. Among the crew of the film and television base, a director looked very excited and happy. Perfect. This scene is too perfect. Our drama is so short of that scene. Hurry up. Let everyone get ready to start work. By the way, be sure to notify Yan Ziao. Director, the wind is too strong. Will there be any danger when hanging wire? I'm the director, or you are the director. Just go if you want. Okay, here we go. Soon, the crew gathered, and some people deserted, playing with their mobile phones there, and exclaimed subconsciously, Zio, what's the matter with you? What's the name of the ghost? There is news on the internet that there are alien beasts attacking the city. Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted by the executive director. Do your job well. Don't look at your phone and talk nonsense. There are alien beasts attacking the city. This must be a hype. I don't know which crew came up with such a bad stalk to maintain the popularity. There are Wolfred's beast. Director, it doesn't seem like. What's wrong? I'll let you go to work. Look at your phone again and get out of here now. The crew doesn't support you idlers or something. Director, what's wrong? Frowning, the man blurted out, what are you asking? Get ready to open. Having said that, I found out that the person who asked the question was Yan Ziao. She was the first heroine. It took a lot of work for the producer to invite her. Who would dare to offend her? Oh, it's Teacher Yan. I didn't mean to you just now. You're here. The director-in-chief said just now that you should start shooting when you're here. This scene and weather cannot be wasted. Okay, then you can talk to the chief director. I'll just touch up the macup a little. Cheng cheng cheng. Teacher Yan is busy first. Yan. Ziao smiled and prepared to touch up her macup. She glanced at the scolded employee, where she was crying and sad, smiled and comforted. Don't worry about a little thing. Sister Yan, I looked at my phone just now and said that there were alien beasts and there was a fairy who killed the alien beast to protect everyone. Also, I don't know if the news is true or not. If someone else heard this, they would definitely think it was nonsense. Yan Ziao's experience was different. Her pretty face changed slightly and she asked, where did you see the news? Bring it to me. Well, the director didn't let you look at the phone just now. It's okay. I think it should be okay. As soon as the words of the two people came here, there was already a huge boom in the sky point immediately following. The sea of clouds swelled, forming a terrifying vortex. The director is still happy there. Great. This weather is specially tailored for our crew. How many special effects have to be saved in the later stage? Hurry up and prepare to start shooting. Boom. There is a huge absorption force formed in the vortex, and then it recoils to the ground. The nearest high-rise building, like a small tree swaying in the wind, had no more time to react and began to collapse. My grass. Many people subconsciously swear, don't care whether they have received 9 years of compulsory education. At this moment, only those two words can express their amazement. Ah. A strange sound came, and in the vortex, it was like a gap in the sky suddenly cracked. Immediately afterwards, there were blood-red eyes, a body with various irregular edges and corners, and a buffalo-like beast appeared. Everyone was still in a dazed state. The staff member who first got the news from the mobile phone had a pale face with fright and blurted out, alien beasts, there are really strange beasts, run for your life. Alien beast. Isn't this dazzling? Or, yes, some special effect. Boom. The high-rise buildings along the way kept collapsing, and those alien beasts had begun to wreak havoc. Blood splashed and screams began to flood Yanjiang City. Until this moment, the people in the crew panicked. Relatively speaking, they were closer to those vortexes in this case. There is no need to care about the director and the superiors and inferiors, and one after another. People threw away the machines in their hands and began to run away frantically. It's all to earn money to support the family, and I can't even lose my life here. Yan Ziao's beautiful face was somewhat surprised. Looking at the different forms in the sky, she stood there and didn't move. The agent was about to run for his life. At this time, it was a habit that he had formed in a normal way, and he quickly pulled Yan Ziao. Yao, what are you still doing? Hurry up and escape. As a result, a pull did not pull. Why don't you go? Damn it, go. Yan Ziao was still unmoved. Hearing the sound of the beast getting closer, the manager panicked and ignored Yan Ziao, hugged his head, and ran for his life. Gritting her teeth, Yan Ziao went backwards. Outside the crew, there are fans who came to visit the class. After seeing Yan Ziao, he subconsciously said, Queen, hurry up and run. Yan Ziao, let's go. I checked my phone. There are really alien beasts attacking the city. Now, Gangchuan City is in chaos. Run away. Taking a deep breath, Yan Ziao's pretty face has never been so firm as it is now. You go quickly. I can't go. Those fans who were going to visit the class were all stunned. Yan Ziao was just popular. Why did she suddenly have enough to live? The danger in front of her. She didn't run away. She was just full of water in her mind. A few fans ignored it and started running for their lives. At this time, Yan Xiao took a long sword as a prop from the crew and walked quickly to the side where the beasts were ravaging. The sound of gunfire has already sounded over there, but unfortunately, I don't know how many times history has repeated itself, and the guns have no effect at all on the alien beasts that come from the impact. I don't want to die. Run for my life. In the panicked crowd, there is a feeling of spreading despair. Some people see their friends and relatives who have been swallowed and killed by alien beasts. They are instantly scared and dumbfounded. Those who arrived at the police first have already received the news and tried their best to slow down the speed of the alien beast. Crack, boom. Vehicles and buildings are constantly being destroyed. Screams and horrific scenes of blood spattering, which are endlessly staged. It was at this time that many people saw Yan Xiao moving forward. I'll go. Isn't that Yan Xiao? Yeah. What is she doing if she doesn't run for her life? Crazy. Have you played a few chivalrous women and really regarded herself as a chivalrous woman? Those fancy things she knows are for the purpose of wool. The long hand can't hold the short-lived. Die if you want to die. Let's run away. Chapter 72. Not a joke. Some anchors on the internet seem to have mastered the traffic password. After discovering the invasion of alien beasts, the live broadcasts were turned on one after another. Family, this is Yanjiang City, and it has been attacked by alien beasts. What should I do now? I'm desperate. The comments were frying right away. I made a big move. I just saw Gangchuan City and thought it was fake, but it turned out to be true. The anchor, don't panic. In the face of this situation, just lie down and count. Run as far as you can. Isn't it that when danger comes, a fairy will come? The anchor will hold on. I will support you mentally and wait until the fairy saves you. Pull it down. Where did the fairy come from? Some people who don't understand the situation don't even know what's going on with the fairy. At this time, Yan Xiao was already getting closer and closer to the place where the disaster happened. The police couldn't hold back anymore and started to retreat. Before leaving, block the vehicle as far as possible on the road ahead in order to delay the impact speed of the beast. Unfortunately, the effect is quite limited. Under the impact of those ferocious alien beasts, the blocking vehicles are either knocked into the air or directly shattered into scum. Don't forget that tall buildings can't stop it, let alone those vehicles. The retreating crowd froze subconsciously when they saw Yan Xiao. Miss, there is danger ahead. Hurry up. Some people thought in their hearts, could it be that this girl had a relative who died at the hands of alien beasts and now she doesn't want to live? We understand what happened to you, but we must evacuate now. Hurry up, or it will be too late. Yan Xiao's voice trembled slightly. Hurry up and retreat. I'll block it. After all, Yan Xiao is different from those of the Qin family. Since he became a cultivator, he knew that the end was coming. Yan Xiao suddenly encountered the current situation, and she didn't know how strong she was. She didn't have much confidence. She just instinctively felt that in this situation, she must try her best, and she couldn't let those strange beasts run wild. If he escaped like the others, then Yan Xiao felt ashamed to face Qin Feng again in the future. Could it be she is a cultivator? Some people know what's going on in Gangchuan City, so they have doubts. Then someone spoke up. You don't even know her? Celebrity, Yan Xiao, the queen of literary films who just started, has become a hot martial arts actress in the last year or two. She can't be a cultivator. The time to speak. Those alien beasts are getting closer and closer. Get out now. There is an order above. After evacuating the crowd, if you can't stop the impact of the alien beast, you can act cheaply and choose to retreat. There is absolutely no need to stay. And Yan Xiao's pretty face was pale. She wasn't sure if she could do it. Shut up. The gunshots sounded, still unable to cause any effective damage to those alien beasts. The pretty Yan Xiao felt even more vacant in her heart. She couldn't do anything with bullets. How could she do it? The problem is that it's at this point now. Gotta try. Accumulating energy and boosting ki. Yan Xiao's slender figure rose up against the wind. Those fighters who were cut off looked extremely surprised. I'm going. She is Yan Xiao. Actually, she can fly. It seems that she is also an immortal cultivator. Brothers, we are saved. Don't be afraid. Help Miss Yan. Yan Xiao's heart is still full of emptiness, but the broken people are full of hope, mainly because Qinzu's performance in Gangchuan City is too perfect, giving people too much hope and confidence invisibly. The prop sword in his hand was made of real materials in Yan Xiao's hand. The long sword hummed. Taking a deep breath, Yan Xiao braved her head to move forward and suddenly drew out her sword. What she thought in her heart was that Qin Feng would not be disappointed no matter what. But the sword energy is vertical and horizontal, with brilliant sword light flashing. Laugh. The ink-colored liquid swelled, and the wailing of the forehead of the alien beast resounded through the sky. This time, everyone was a little confused, including Yan Xiao herself. Success. Yan Xiao gained a little more confidence, took a deep breath, and shot again. Those alien beasts rushed over and roared constantly, feeling offended. The sword flowers were flying, extremely sharp, and several alien beasts were beheaded one after another. Because Yan Xiao happened to be filming a costume drama. Those fighters breathed a long sigh of relief, and sure enough, a fairy really came. Now, we don't have to be afraid. I really didn't expect that the person who saved Yanjiang City would be Yan Xiao. Who says it's not? Other martial arts stars are trying their best to play the characters in the script, but Yan Xiao is doing all the martial arts moves with real kung fu. Thinking about it makes people feel incredible. I feel that this can't be called kung fu. The number of cents is almost the same. Yan Xiao became more and more confident, and took action more and more calmly. Others may not know, but Qin Feng knows best, that Yan Xiao was awakened by the bloodline of the crane, and his talent is extremely high. Even in the Qin family, apart from Qin Haoxu, Yan Xiao's talent is definitely one of the best. But the sword energy continued to be vertical and horizontal. Although those alien beasts charged forward like crazy, they were blocked by Yan Xiao with one sword, unable to advance half a meter. Yan Xiao's video has long been synchronized to the internet. The comments are totally crazy. My god, that's our queen, Yan Xiao. Liang blinded my dog's eyes. I thought it was an actor, but in the end, everyone was playing for real. My queen is invincible in the world. This is the real fairy, and I will follow her for a lifetime. You must know that Yan Xiao's identity carries a lot of traffic, and now the alien beasts are invading, but it is a hot topic. Under the influence of each other, Yan Xiao is a cultivator network. Naturally, Yan Xiao didn't know the reaction from the outside. To be honest, most of the reasons for her actions were because she didn't want Qin Feng to be disappointed. Of course, there was also a part to stop the ferocious beasts and continue to mutilate lives with the continuous fighting. Yan Xiao's shot became more and more sharp. Whether in Yanjiang City in reality or on the internet, they are cheering for Yan Xiao. Goddess is invincible. Queen Yan killed all those beasts. The best thing I did in my life was to become a fan of Queen Yan. I'm a big man. I'm crying with excitement. The queen is invincible. They are cheering in full swing, but the accident happened at this time. After Yan Xiao slaughtered a strange beast, the long sword in his hand got stuck, followed by a crisp sound of click, and the long sword broke. Don't forget, Yan Xiao is not an immortal soldier. Chapter 73. It is in line with the temperament of a fairy. Seeing the long sword shattered, the broken fighters subconsciously sucked in a breath of cold air. Some anchors have found a good angle. It can be said that they are broadcasting the fight between Yan Xiao and the alien beast all the way. Seeing the thrilling scene take place, many people in front of the screen couldn't help but feel their hearts stagnate. It's too embarrassing. That long sword won't work. Desire to kill thieves, but unable to return to the sky. Queen Yan was pitted by weapons. I can't wait to turn into that sword, and I won't lose the chain at the critical moment. If I say anything, Queen Yan is in danger. While outsiders were worrying about Yan Xiao, the little girl remained calm in the face of danger. The figure suddenly retreated, followed, with both hands up, fingers constantly crossing, making a hand gesture that people couldn't understand. The fingers are slender and crystal clear, and the elf alive in a trance at this time seems to be extraordinarily harmonious. Destroy. The hand formula suddenly swayed outwards, and at that moment, it looked like a white crane with bright wings, carrying a majestic force, attacking the alien beast that came up. Chi. Under the attack of Yan Xiao, the alien beast, which cannot be dealt with by guns and guns, is as fragile as tofu, and wounds continue to appear, accompanied by inky blood surging. The screams of alien beasts filled the sky and earth again. Oh, great. It's amazing. Invincible. The fighters after the breakup cheered loudly, with fanaticism and admiration in their eyes. Yan Xiao's performance exceeded their expectations by too much. Direct friars on the internet. Queen Yan is invincible. I kneel. Love. Miserably. At this moment, I really love Queen Yan miserably. I'm going to cry. Yan Xiao. Yides. The fierce battle continued, and at this time, the vortex of the sea of clouds in the sky began to rotate at an extreme speed. A strange roar resounded over the entire city. Boom. The explosion-like sound spread, and some of them didn't have time to escape, or the slow-moving crowd was shocked by the violent sound, causing them to bleed so much that they didn't even have a chance to scream. They died on the spot. Yan Xiao's pretty face changed, even in her busy schedule. She looked up. It was like a huge and terrifying alien beast appeared in the crack of a hole in the sky. Looking at it fiercely, it looks like a legendary dinosaur. It is as big as a mountain. Its fangs exceed 1 meter, and there is a single horn on its forehead. It has irregular edges and corners and spikes. The moment the huge body fell on the ground, it seemed that the whole earth trembled. The roar sounded, and the small alien beasts that appeared first roared in response, and all the alien beasts became frenzied for a while, and the terrifying aura that destroyed everything spread wildly. To be honest, at this moment, Yan Xiao felt a little depressed. With the leadership of the gigantic alien beast, other alien beasts rushed in like a tide, and the most important thing, the gigantic alien beast was not idle. The huge head swept across, and the speed was much faster than expected. Yan Xiao took a deep breath, and the spiritual energy in her body traveled very fast. The jumping between the fingers, the speed becomes faster, the hand tricks are extremely complicated, and the wind blades are constantly stirring around Yan Xiao, and with the occasional costume, it is simply glamorous to people's hearts. In the final analysis, Yan Xiao's appearance is very good to be a popular star. After becoming a cultivator, her temperament has improved unparalleled. At this moment, Yan Xiao fits the image of a fairy in people's hearts. Comments and barrages have long been so popular that it is outrageous. It's over. It's over. I can't like other women in my life, and I want to marry Queen Yan in my dreams. You should just wash and sleep, as you said, in a dream. Everything is there. Queen Yan, hold on. You must hold on. This life is not enough. In the next life, I have to continue to be the Queen of Fanyan. Among the tumultuous comments, Yan Xiao made a full effort. In the sky, a substantial handprint appeared in a trance, and with a turbulent wind blade, it collided with a huge alien beast. Boom. The sound of landslides and cracks was nothing more than that. Under the collision of the tyrannical force, many small alien beasts were affected and smashed out screaming, or they were directly strangled by the tyrannical force. However, the huge alien beast stood there, motionless. The tyrannical force recoiled. Yan Xiao's figure was completely unsteady, fell backwards and smashed into a big tree. Crack. The big tree broke at the sound. The leaves were flying, and the dust was flying. At this moment, time seemed to stand still. Everyone's heart was completely in their throats. I thought that, when Yan Xiao appeared, it was like Kinzu was in Gangchuan City, killing the quartet. It's over. It's over. How could this be? Queen Yan, lost, cry, to death. Queen Yan won't she die? F***K. The building hurts. If you die, Queen Yan will be fine. The fallen leaves were falling, and Yan Xiao's figure stood up a little stubbornly again. Cheers sounded instantly. Yan Xiao is still alive. Queen Yan's fighting ability is no longer there. Don't say anything. Queen Yan yides. Don't accept any refutation. It's Just that the expressions of the combat team members at close range are a little dignified. Yan Xiao's mouth had bright red blood oozing out, and it was obvious that he was injured. The strength of the huge alien beast is too terrifying. The most important point is that Yan Xiao is still different from the Qin family. After the Qin family became immortal cultivators, most of their time was spent on cultivating immortals. Moreover, they had experienced Qin Feng's sermons, taking medicinal pills, and improving their strength several times. They could also hug each other for warmth, learn from each other to improve strength. Yan Xiao became a monk halfway through. At the beginning, Qin Feng never thought that she would become an immortal cultivator. Although the talent is amazing, the time spent on immortal cultivation is small. There is also a lack of guidance, and the combat experience is even more pitiful. At this time, suddenly facing a powerful alien beast, it will definitely suffer. Miss Yan, retreat. You have done enough. Retreat. Yes, you first protect yourself. Most of the people have already retreated to the safe area, and the support from the rear is coming. Miss Yan, withdraw. Those fighters reminded Yan Xiao one after another, obviously not wanting the little girl to have an accident here. It's just that Yan Xiao killed a lot of alien beasts. Now, even if she wants to retreat, the brutal alien beast will not let her go. Ah! A shrill roar resounded between heaven and earth. The huge alien beasts, leading those small alien beasts, rushed towards Yan Xiao frantically, and the distance was getting closer and closer. Yan Xiao took a deep breath and unconsciously thought of Qin Feng in her mind, and said to herself, Qin Feng, I might be dying. I'm not afraid of death. It's just a pity I haven't come yet. Remember to tell you, I like you. Chapter 74, Jointly Execution. Yan Xiao has lost confidence. Her strength is too limited. Seeing the danger coming, a clear female voice sounded, Beast there. Buzz. The sound of breaking the sky sounded, and in the sky, the wind blade swayed first, and then, there were bursts of thunder in a trance, and the huge alien beasts were hit one after another. Yan Xiao was stunned. Those who secretly sweated for Yan Xiao were equally astonished. Looking in the direction from which the wind blade came, I found that I didn't know when a woman appeared, and the wrist flipped, as if it could trigger a thunder calamity between heaven and earth. At the critical moment, Qinya arrived and attacked the huge alien beasts one after another with flying thunder flashes. Wow, another fairy, Huaxia. He crossing. When the crisis comes, there are fairies appearing one after another. It's amazing. As the old saying goes, women hold up half the sky. Now, I feel like they support the whole sky. I'm a big man. Why do I always cry with excitement? As the news of the alien invasion spread, the news on the internet spread very fast, and people poured into the live broadcast room. It seemed that there was a possibility that the live broadcast room would fall into a network crash. Ah! The huge alien beasts let out an angry roar, and those small alien beasts, as if they had received some kind of order, continued to charge at Qinya, obviously wanting to take back the advantage by fighting more and less. Yan Xiao had an impression of Qinya. She went to Chuankao village several times and met each other. Although Qin Feng didn't come, he was somewhat disappointed, but now, Yan Xiao is very clear that he shouldn't think wildly, but help, destroy. Exhaling, Yan Xiao disregarded the pain caused by the injury, and her fingers jumped like a fairy again. The complicated tricks are dazzling. One after another, a tyrannical energy was formed, which impacted the group of alien beasts, breaking. Cloud palm, Qin Ya shouted angrily, and struck out with her palms. There was a shrill sound of breaking through the air again, and the dark clouds at close range were instantly scattered in a trance. You must know that Qinya has been stubborn and hard-working from the very beginning. At this time, Qinya's strength is slightly stronger than Qinzu's, and it is only one line away from the half-step Great Power Realm. Under the full force of the shot, the palm shadows fly, and the power is infinite. As the palm shadow continued to move forward, it began to condense in midair, and the huge palm shadow, like the legendary Tathagata palm, suddenly pressed down. Ah! From the mouth of the huge alien, an earth-shattering roar came out. With a body like a hill, lightning rushed towards Qinya with a majestic pressure. Qinya took a deep breath, and didn't take a step back. The brave who meet on a narrow road wins. If you step back, the beast will think about swallowing you whole. If you take a step back, the beast will think about destroying the entire city. Break it for me, Qin. Ya bucked the trend and stepped forward, and the speed has soared significantly. Yan Xiao knew that Qin was under tremendous pressure at this time, and the spiritual energy in her body was running without reservation. Faintly, like a crane roaring over the whole city. The fingers flew, and the golden light visible to the naked eye stirred, echoing Qin's cloud-breaking palm, and attacking the huge alien beast with all his strength. Witnessing the frenzied slaughtering crowd in midair, they have forgotten to marvel. Eyes are straight. Everyone is waiting for the final result. The scene in front of them has exceeded expectations by too much. Even in people's dreams, it is estimated that they will not think of it. The barrage in the live room is completely crazy. It's life-threatening. The two fairies are going to kill themselves. I'm a big man. Why do I feel a little ashamed? When the crisis came, only the two women were fighting their lives. Sister. No, from today on, let's stand up. If anyone looks down on women a little bit, give me a big mouth and slap him in the face. Kill, kill, kill. There is no way out. Fairy. Invincible. Yides. Boom. An explosion-like sound came suddenly. Crack, crack. The glass on the nearby high-rise buildings was shattered one after another, and the tyrannical energy wave continued to impact. Boom. Some buildings began to collapse, but it was because of the arrival of alien beasts that most of the people had already been moved. Otherwise, they would still suffer heavy damage. The dust was flying, and for a while, everyone didn't know what the result was at this time. Some fighter jets have urgently assembled support here, hovering in the sky, and dare not easily participate in the fight. Everyone is on standby. Be sure not to accidentally get hurt. Now, I can't tell the specific result, so rashly let the fighter shoot. Don't cause any damage to the alien beast, but accidentally hurt Qin and Yan Xiao. That is absolutely unacceptable. Even public opinion will make people unbearable. Finally, the dust began to dissipate. It was at this time that a loud bang sounded. The huge alien beasts like a hill collapsed, and those small alien beasts let out a wailing sound. After stagnating for a while, Yan Xiao's pretty face became paler and paler, and the blood on the corner of her mouth continued to flow down. At this moment, even a little finger didn't have the strength to move. Qin's face was also a little pale, but she was obviously much better than Yan Xiao. The slender figure still stands proudly, looking at the alien beasts coldly. Oh, invincible. The bulls fork to the extreme. F***K. I'm going to cry. Countless cheers rang out. Even if there are still alien beasts that have not been wiped out, the largest and most powerful alien beast has been killed by Qin and Yan Xiao, so it is only a matter of time before the remaining alien beasts are resolved. Qin clearly felt that Yan Xiao's physical condition was very poor. Her figure flashed, and she was already near. Miss Yan, how are you? Yan Xiao wanted to laugh and answer, but couldn't. Frowning down, Qin decisively took out an elixir. Miss Yan, take it. Don't worry, this is the Jiaohuan Dan configured by our patriarch, and you will be fine. Hearing this, Yan Xiao didn't know where the strength came from and blurted out, yes, is it Qin Feng? His voice was a little hoarse, and he was obviously in a bad state, very bad, but in his beautiful eyes, there was a lot more brilliance than before. Yes, it's Brother Feng. Yan Xiao took the medicinal pill without any hesitation, not knowing if it was working in her heart, but soon, she felt a hot air in her mansion rushing towards her limbs, and her strength recovered a lot. I'm feeling better. I'm still useless. If it wasn't for you, something would have happened. Qin smiled and comforted. Miss Yan, you've done enough. When a strange beast strikes, you could have chosen to leave. With your skills, your life will definitely not be in danger, but you stood up resolutely, came for me, and won a lot of time. If it weren't for you, I don't know how many people died at the hands of alien beasts. Stay in peace. Leave the rest to me. Chapter 75 Hot Internet. After Qin comforted Yan Xiao, she greeted those beasts again without hesitation. Without the huge alien beast as a backing, the remaining alien beasts just looked cruel, and in Qin's hands, only the slaughter was left. It took less than half an hour before and after all the alien beasts have been slaughtered. Speaking of which, it is also a blessing that these beasts only know how to rush without a brain. If Qinya runs away, it will be difficult for Qinya to track them down. Just one word. I only say it once. Amazing. My fairy, I'm not afraid of your jokes. I always thought it was a dream. I slapped myself hard just now. Grass. It really hurts. I was exactly the same as the one upstairs. I almost cried myself stupidly. After Qinya killed the alien beast, there were fighters who quickly surrounded it. Miss, what's your name? Where do you come from? I saw you talking to Miss Yan Ziao just now. Do you two know each other? Be sure to leave a contact information. Qinya smiled without saying a word, just said hello to Yan Ziao, and then turned to leave. Although those people wanted to ask some useful information, but Qinya really wanted to leave. They had already received the order from above. Don't stop it, and absolutely must not have any conflict. All fools understand that Qinzu from Gangchuan City and Qinya from Yanjiang City are like patron saints. At this time, who would dare to say something out of place? Qinya can leave and rush back to Dukao village, but Yan Ziao can't. You must know that Yan Ziao was originally a public figure, and she was very famous. For a time, she was surrounded by the media and people from all over the world. Miss Yan, are you a cultivator? You know the lady just now. What's her name, and where does she come from? Please tell me how you feel now. If there are other beasts, will Miss Yan still take action to ensure the safety of the Chinese people? If it was someone else, facing all kinds of problems, I would have been stunned for a long time. Yan Ziao is a public figure who often participates in press conferences, so it is not a big problem to deal with. Sorry, I can't reveal any superfluous information for the time being. You just need to know that neither me nor the lady is malicious. That's enough. Miss Yan, can't you really reveal something? It's okay to say a little bit of news, even if the young lady's name was just now. Follow up. People are still asking. Yan Ziao said wearily. Sorry, I'm a little tired. When you should know the news, I believe you will know. Some people still want to ask questions, but some people are no longer willing. What's wrong with you? Miss Yan doesn't want to answer, so don't ask again. Okay, when the alien beast came just now, why didn't you ask the alien beast? Miss Yan is injured. She needs to rest now. Let's get out of the way. Miss Yan can stab you to death with a little finger, but people are good natured and don't care about you. But I don't have such a good temper. I don't care if I don't let Miss Yan go to rest. What the consequences? The first to do him. Yes, I'm one of them. Get out of here. A few men spontaneously maintained order and let Yan Ziao leave. There are also some people on the internet who are very dissatisfied. I feel really wrong. I don't know why I feel sorry for Fairy Yan. Ask a fart. As long as you know that Yan Ziao is from China. The fairy who shoots is also from China. Isn't that enough? Like a group of flies buzzing. Fairy Yan is really good natured. Anchor, if you dare to annoy Fairy Yan, I will take it directly. As more and more barrages appeared, the anchor hurriedly said, old aunts and family members, I'm very measured. I will definitely not disturb Fairy Yan at this time. I will pay attention to a wave. I will continue to dig the story behind this incident through other channels. Yan Ziao finally got out of the crowd. In fact, after taking Jiaohu and Huchandan, Yan Ziao's body no longer had any problems. The pale and tired face was just for outsiders to see. Although they didn't get any useful news, Qinzu and others' continuous attacks have caused a great uproar on the internet. Yan Ziao has her own traffic, and now it is absolutely popular on the internet. Where did the person who shot come from? I heard it's the Qin family. Nonsense. Is Yan Ziao's surname Qin? Hey, you don't know this, right? The person who shot it is a member of the Qin family. I also know. Where does the fairy named Qinzu live? In Gangchuan City. True or false? Absolute nonsense. Deliberately trying to gain traffic. You, Zai, who was constantly sending comments, was not happy. It's Laotz, you a person who gets traffic? Let me tell you, Qinzu is from Dukao village in Luoshi City. Their Qin family members seem to be very powerful. They are the immortal cultivators you said. At the beginning, Yuzai fell in love with Kinzu and went to Chuankao village. As a result, he was scared to death by Kinzu and really thought he had encountered a ghost. After the video of Gongchuan City appeared on the internet, Yuzai realized that it was not a ghost, but a fairy, and the few regrets in his heart. Let's not mention it. Did Kinzu test himself at the beginning? If he hadn't been frightened, continue to pursue Kinzu. If it succeeds, then there will definitely be smoke on the ancestral grave. Unfortunately, there is no chance now. F***K. I suddenly remembered that Yan Xiao also went to Chuankao village. Yes, the 10-mile peach blossoms in winter are a sea of flowers. I'm deeply impressed. Grass. I suddenly became excited. Could it be that I have already discovered the truth? Yan Xiao went to Chuankao village, and she also became an immortal cultivator. Then this Dukao village is definitely not ordinary. For a time, various discussions continue to appear on the internet. At this moment, the senior officials of Huaxia have also been holding emergency meetings one after another. On the one hand, they have to lay out the next line of defense and be ready to deal with the invasion of alien beasts at the same time. Almost everyone is interested in the identities of Kinzu and others. The above has already sent someone to contact Yan Xiao. After all, as a public figure, Yan Xiao is the easiest person to find. However, Yan Xiao thanked the guests behind closed doors and did not see anyone. No one dared to push through for fear of annoyed Yan Xiao. Don't forget, Yan Xiao's skills are extremely powerful and there is no other means to restrain alien beasts. Now the only one who can rely on is someone like Yan Xiao. No one dared to offend, even if they borrowed 8 courage point. The more unsure the specific news, the more intense the discussion on the internet. It can be said that it has become extremely popular. However, now everyone can't understand the attitude of Kinzu and others, whether they will give the public an answer. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.